All right, we are live. Welcome back, everyone. I have big news today. Revenue is up to $660, and we're making significant progress on ViewCreator. Welcome back to day 40. We have made just a ton of progress. I have great news for everybody that's been watching and following the series. So we actually have moved forward, and we are now, our production environment and our dev environment is live. I got the CloudFormation set up and working correctly, which means that we can actually move forward with our launch to beta testers. So as you guys know, I've been working on CloudFormation for the past couple of days, and CloudFormation, for those of you that are familiar with it, you know, it is a pretty complex configuration. So, you know, being able to get that is actually a huge accomplishment, and I'm very, very happy about it. Zakane, how's it going? Welcome to the stream. So, you know, we do have our dev and production environments now live. But what we're going to have to do now is we're going to have to actually configure some of the different environment variables. For example, like our Stripe configuration, we need to correctly now configure that. But, you know, it's very exciting. If you guys saw the stream yesterday. So yesterday I was actually planning on taking the day off from streaming so that I could finish our configuration for CloudFormation. I was able to get it, so I did accomplish that. But then also I did stream because the new Claude Sonnet 4.5 model came out. So let's just pull up X here. And for those of you that don't know, let's go and pull up Claude real quick. So here's the new model. I'm sure that most of you have seen this, but there's essentially a new #1 coding model out. It's Claude Sonnet 4.5. As you guys can see here, it does beat out GPT-5, which is really interesting. Trending 20 said, hi, I remember seeing $51 in revenue. Congrats, man. Thank you. Yeah. I mean, I've always expected that, you know, through the consistency, through everything that we've been doing, you know, this is to be expected, guys. The revenue is going to go up. You guys can expect the revenue to start jumping and just absolutely being exponential. The consistency is really what's key. You know, for 40 days, I only had like $60 in revenue, you know, but I'm not going to stop. I'm not going to let things get me down. I'm just going to keep going, pushing through all barriers, all limitations. It doesn't matter what happens. I'm going to keep being consistent, and we're going to make progress, and that's what's going to make this all successful. So if you're just joining in the stream now, make sure that you like and subscribe, and we're going to have a great day today. I'm going to stream for about 4 to 5 hours. So if you're just joining in now, you know, feel free to vibe along with me or watch as we work and learn some things. Let me know if you're in the chat, say what's up, introduce yourself. But today, you know, we're making a lot of progress. And what I want to show you guys is a little bit about our configuration for production and development. So the reason that you use a CloudFormation is so that you're actually able to deploy both a development server and then a production server. And what this allows you to do is, let's say that you're developing locally, right? Well, when you're developing locally, you know, hey, you don't want, there's differences of developing locally on your machine versus actually having that code then deployed up into AWS when it's running on AWS servers and whatnot. Jose, good morning. Yep, $600. Doom said Sonnet 4.5 is good in facts. Codex is best at reasoning and good at code. Yep, that's spot on. Doom. Trendy 20, thanks. Zakane said Stripe is being implemented today. Yeah, let's go. That's awesome. So I mean, we're going to continue to make progress today, but the main thing that we're going to do just to get started here is, since we now have our development and production environments set up, we actually need to move forward with getting our environment variables set up. So I was able to actually seed the database. Actually, not seed it, sorry. I ran the migration. So I was able to run the migrations in the database, which is essentially, if you guys are familiar, again, with the architecture for the project, you'll remember that we are using, Postgres, which means that, hey, when you initially have these deployments in RDS, it's just an empty database, right? And you have this local configuration. I'll just pull up a cursor here so I can show you guys how this works. Let's see here. So I'm going to delete this. All right, close chat. Okay, so I want to show you guys how this works. So let me pull up cursor to show you some of the code. So if I just collapse these real quick so that you guys can actually see our setup. So we essentially have this CloudFormation repo now, and then we have our ViewCreator API, we have our ViewCreator database, and then we have our ViewCreator UI. The UI is a Next.js UI. The database is a type ORM Postgres database. So essentially what this project actually is, this ViewCreator database, what it is every time that I make changes to this entities directory here, what happens is I use this data source file here, and I import all of the entities into this data source file, and then using type ORM, essentially what happens is I'm able to then run npm run migrations generate, and what it does is it takes a look at the differences between the connected database and the existing migrations, and then based off of the differences, it generates a SQL script to actually make the changes that are required to make those updates to get the database where you want it. So in order to do that, we essentially had to launch an ECS service that uses Fargate, and then we had to configure GitHub Actions so that every time that I deploy to the dev branch or the main branch and put a deploy label on it, it then deploys to that ECS service and runs the migration. So right before I started streaming, I did get that running and get that working, but a couple things I need to do is I need to take a look today at the environment variables that are actually in production, because if you guys remember, we changed our pricing plan. So let's, why am I getting all these cache errors, by the way? I don't know if you guys, like, what is up with these cache errors? Let's open Sonnet and figure out why I continue to get these cache errors, because for some reason just lately I started to get all these caching problems. What is the root cause of this error? I have been having more errors like this lately where it seems to be like a caching error that is an issue. Please review this and run a diagnostic and come back with me and identify the issue. So we're gonna use Claude 4.5 Sonnet for this. It's really fast and intelligent. So let's do that real quick. So for those of you, what are you guys thinking of Claude 4.5 Sonnet? NS is in the chat. He asked, what do you think of 4.5? Yeah, to answer your question, NS, I think it's really fast, really smart. And he asked, did it get rid of the goofy rocket emojis and purple gradients? It did. Gamerwall, welcome to the stream. So Clip Skirt asked, do I include the bmad method? Also, what do you think about Tracer? So I do have Tracer. So if you guys know, Tracer is essentially, it's an extension that you can use where it actually generates a plan before it updates any code. So you can use Tracer to essentially do a little bit of a diagnosis and then figure out, hey, what am I actually updating? What's the plan that I need to generate? But honestly, Tracer is a little bit redundant now just because there are so many, there's so many different ways now where you can just prompt Codex with that as well. So so Tracer is a little bit redundant now. Jose said 600. Yep, we're up to $661 in revenue. So as you guys know, this is always to be expected. Okay, it says that the root cause is your cache Webpack directory has grown to 368 megabytes, which is abnormally large and indicates cache corruption. Even though you're running TurboPack, there's still legacy Webpack. Okay. All right. Immediate fix. Okay, so cache cleaned successfully. But yeah, Jose, we're at 661. And yeah, we're moving forward just as to be expected. So I'm pretty happy about that. Fish said that's moving in the right direction. Great job. Thank you. I appreciate it. If you guys haven't already liked and subscribed, make sure you do so. Not only are we making progress, but we're also up to 3,285 subscribers. So just crazy progress. It feels really good. And I really appreciate all your guys' support. Seriously, I couldn't do it without you. Corfee said, congrats on $600. The grind is working. Yeah, that's right, folks. The grind is working. Feels great. Soon we'll break 1,000, so really excited for that. It's gonna be a big day and probably a day that's coming very soon. J35, what's up? Welcome to the stream. Good to see you. Trending 20 said just clear the next and restart. Sometimes it does happen. Yeah, it looks like that's what we did, so should be good now. Let's do a restart here. Let's run dev. The problem is that that was a continuous problem. So let's see, what the heck? Why does that see what I mean, guys? Like this keeps happening. Like if I go to any page, I just keep getting this error. Does anybody know what's causing this? Okay, Doom said you should have it clean the cache when you start the dev build every time. Okay, let's have it do that. because I don't know what's necessarily causing this error, and it just said that it did, because watch this, if I launch this in incognito, I can go to pricing right away. So while that's fixing, I want to talk a little bit about what we actually have to do now. What are the next steps to actually get this into production? Like I said, we are officially, we did get our CloudFormation project and AWS infrastructure deployed successfully. It took a couple days, and for those of you that are familiar with AWS infrastructure, especially with a large project like this that has, you know, a pretty sizable project, you know, CloudFormation is tricky. So I just kept going. I kept hammering at it. I didn't give up, and now we made a ton of progress, and you know, it feels good to get there. So it says the updated script. So here's the updated script. Doom, you can look at that and let me know if you think that's correct. But let's run npm run dev again and see if that's now fixed. So let's go to pricing now. Still getting the same error, guys. Why do I continue to get this error even with the updates and changes that we made during this conversation? J35 said delete and do a clean build. Shobi said, hey, I really love your videos. I have recently started vibe coding, but this is really confusing. What stack do you recommend for a small mobile app? I would recommend React Native just because learning React can be really useful. So for example, if you learn React Native, it's going to be really easy for you to also change to building essentially a web app as well. So React skills are really important and useful to have. J35 said delete and do a clean build. Next needs to be removed to clear cache. I thought we already did that though, didn't we? That's why I'm a little bit confused. Sunny Gabriel said, your pricing page is beautiful. Thank you. Yeah, we worked really hard on it. We used 21st Dev, but yeah, you know, it doesn't look like it's made by AI. Very, very simple. I really like it. Shout out to J35 again for the 21st Dev recommendation, because that really did help. Okay, so it says there's a newer patch version that may have turbo fixes. Doom says, I don't like Sonnet for debugging. It's bad at it. Okay, maybe we may need to switch, but let's try this again. Let's run npm run. Let's just run an npm run build. Hard refresh your browser. I mean, the build should be working, right? Gamer Clash, how's it going? Welcome to the stream. He said that GPT-5 Codex is still better than Claude Code with Sonnet 4.5. Yeah, I mean, I haven't tried it versus I don't use Claude Code a lot, so I can't give a comparison on that, but if you say it, I believe it. Okay, let's see here. So let's go here and see, are we still having this issue in the browser? Let's do a quick refresh. Let's do npm run dev here. Okay. Go to pricing. Why are we getting this, guys? It doesn't make any sense. Do I just need to like clear my browser history or something? Okay, it says npm run dev webpack. Oops. Man, this is frustrating. Okay, here Shay said delete the next folder, the .next folder. All right, so .next, we're gonna delete this. Now let's try. I mean, it may be a problem where my browser has cached something that I just need to reset, but there we go. Let's try this. Guys, what is going on? Dale Music said last time that you were on here, we were at $60. How do we get to 600 so quickly? We're starting to get brand deals, so yeah, revenue is going to start really going up fast, guys. You know, it's like it's with anything. Anytime that you start a business or you start something that that you actually, you know, have control over like this, it's very interesting because, you know, there's such a sacrifice up front. There's a huge sacrifice up front. People aren't going to believe in you. Sometimes you won't even believe in yourself, but that's important, is that you have to believe in yourself. Okay, So I see, I'm gonna try deleting my cached images and files. So I'm just gonna delete my browsing data, essentially, my cached images. Hypertech, how's it going? Good to see you. So it's been a while since you've been on it, hasn't it? We're working on ViewCreator, which is a platform where content creators and businesses are able to create content for their brands and platforms using AI. So it's really going to help streamline the content creation process. So let's see here. I just did essentially I cleared my cache. So let's see if that works. Okay, so it must have been a problem with my browser. Brother Codes, it did build successfully. I think I just cleared my cookies and my cache for the past couple weeks. So it must have been some weird error there because now it works fine. So let's make sure. Let's see. I'm actually going to push this build now. I'm going to deploy, and then I'm also going to deploy to, let's see here. I'm going to deploy to dev, and then from dev, we're going to deploy to production because I actually want to update the site with all these updates that we've made. Here's the blog page that we updated yesterday with Claude 3.5 or 4.5 Sonnet. Hamad just asked, what's your backend server? We're using Nest for the backend. Also, if you guys haven't already liked and subscribed, make sure you do so. We're going to be streaming for about 4 to 5 hours today, so buckle up because we're going to get a ton done today. Chow said Command plus R. Yeah, we already got it done, so now this is working, so we are good. I just cleared the cache. So one thing real quick that I definitely want to do is I want to go to GitHub, and basically how I have this set up now. So something for you guys to learn, which is pretty cool, is that when you're working on an organization and you have infrastructure in AWS, it's important that you actually build the CI/CD pipelines. So for example, I now have my branches configured so that here's our dev branch, and when I push, I'm now working on dev branches only. So essentially what I do is I work on the dev branch because the dev branch is connected to, for example, if I go to dev.viewcreator.ai, that's going to take me to the actual dev server. So this is essentially just an update for all of you that are following along. We've been working on CloudFormation. Why does it say no blog post today? That's not right. That's interesting. That's not correct. Matthew Chang just asked, not sure if anyone asked, are you going to use Claude 4.5 Sonnet? Yeah, so Claude 4.5 Sonnet we are using in Cursor right now. So this whole stream so far, we've just been using Claude 4.5 Sonnet. But we're gonna get this going. We just have to make sure that we push to main. But I'm curious as to why that actually didn't work. I wonder why. So I'm just gonna merge this, and what you guys are gonna see is that now that I know that it's deploying to dev successfully, now I'm gonna push it to production. And that's obviously a best practice for development with AWS, or when you actually have a production grade website, is that you should have a development and then a production server that you're using. These are placeholders for now. Here's that pricing on the home page that we built yesterday. That looks pretty good. I like that. This section's looking really good. So if I click on one of these, it takes me to this, these automation pages, which look good. I'm pretty sure this has like a weird, nah, it looks all right. All right, that looks good. So let's now take a look at, let's go to, okay. What we need to do is we need to check out the logic of our Stripe functionality. So for example, let's go back to what I was talking about at the start of the stream. So, we have these plans, Starter, Pro, Ultra, and Enterprise, right? And the thing is that we actually need to now configure, the logic for those pricing IDs. So let's take a look. Let's launch Claude 4.5 Sonnet here. And I'm just going to say, let's actually launch a fresh task. Fresh tab, and let's drop in our API. Take a look at the Stripe functionality and think deeply about our different pricing options and diagnose and tell me and summarize how our product IDs are being used in the code. So for example, are we using environment variables? Are we hard coding the product IDs? What are we doing for the starter, pro, and ultra plans? Looks like that failed. There we go. Doom said that the body needs padding from the breadcrumbs on mobile. Okay. Yeah, we'll take a look at that. Muhammad, so right now we actually don't have, the site isn't launched right now. We're gonna open this up to beta testers. So probably, if you guys haven't already, can somebody drop a Discord link in the chat so that anybody that's interested in beta testing can join our Discord server, because I'm thinking that we need about 10 beta testers. You guys will get essentially free plans to test out. I'll give you guys, some credits to be able to use. And then what we're going to do is we're going to be building features for our mainstream launch. So as you guys know, we have $3,000 this month budgeted to go towards paid ads. And something that we're going to have to do is before we launch, in order to maximize, our paid ad spend, we're going to have to make sure that, this is ready. So let's drop this in. So I'm going to just have it diagnose, hey, what's actually the current setup and structure for this? Thanks, Doom, for dropping in the Discord link. Corfy asked, how did you install Claude and Cursor? It just comes with it, so you can have model selection. So anytime that you use Cursor, you can select any model that you want. Also, if you guys are watching, haven't already liked and subscribed, make sure you do so. I think that we'll hit 3,300 subs in this stream pretty easily. So let's see here. So it's checking out the billing and then the service. And I'm actually going to open up Stripe here on my other monitor, so that we can actually configure these new product IDs, because something that we need for launch is, in order to actually, get this set up properly, we need to make sure that that the Stripe account is set up. So right now, here are the product IDs. So it maps it, it hard codes it in the API, and I don't know how I necessarily feel about that. And then the monthly credits are also hard coded there. And we actually don't want that. So here's the problem, is that it expects basic, pro, and ultra. So we need to update this. This is an issue. Okay. So let's take a look at this. So right now, the problem that we have with Stripe is that we have the back end is basic, pro, and ultra, and the front end is starter, pro, and ultra. And if you guys remember, the reason that that's happening is because we did actually change that. So I'm over in Stripe right now, and what I need to do now is I need to go and launch my test account, and then I need to open up I need to go to our products so that we can update that. Let's see here. I need you to update the backend so that it reflects the pricing model that is described in the front end. We did make an update to the front end because we updated our pricing models, and we have not yet updated our backend with the same logic. Also, instead of hard coding the product IDs in the code, really what we need to do is these should be environment variables. So think deeply about how you can integrate these updates. Make sure that you do not touch my environment variable files, but just at the end of your updates, tell me which environment variables that I need to actually add to my .env file. All right, so we're gonna update this. There it is. I'm about to check chat here in a second, guys. Sorry, I cleared my cache. I got logged out. Let's see here. All right. So that's working. We're going to have to update this. Okay. There we go. Okay, so Dathuni Beats, yeah, $661 we're up to, which is huge. Tralala said, nice jump from 50 to 600. Is that MRR? No, that's just total. So right now we're at 661 total. And guys, I expect this to keep going up. As you guys know, for those of you that have been watching this series and who've, become to, understand who I am a little bit, you guys know that I'm very dedicated. I'm not a person that gives up easily, and I just genuinely love doing what we're doing. So if that, if you guys haven't already liked and subscribed, make sure you do so. But let's get this updated, and let's see here. J35 said, if anyone wants to volunteer for a beta tester, drop a message in the Discord. However, there's only a few spots left. So yeah, J35 is right. Make sure that you join the Discord and drop a message in general if you want to be a beta tester for ViewCreator, because essentially what our plan is now, guys, is that we are making money. We're making money now, and what we need to do is, I don't want to rush our launch. I kind of want to save our capital for the mainstream launch. As you guys know, we're going to spend $3,000 this month on paid ads, and I want to save our capital until a point where we have this configuration set up correctly in the cloud. Like, for example, just one thought that I had is, a lot of our configurations use this S3 bucket, right? So for example, when a user is creating a thumbnail, right, they drop in an image, and when they drop in an image, it gets uploaded to the S3 bucket, and then when they create the image on the back end, it submits the image that's generated, which is then it returns the URL to the front end. So that's how our YouTube thumbnail generator works. And something that I have to be mindful of is that, hey, with our configuration, I have to think through, hey, we just changed up our S3 bucket so that now, instead of being a public bucket in, that's literally just a totally public S3 bucket, we actually integrated protections in CloudFront, and we integrated all these things. So we're gonna have to test that out, and there's probably gonna be some issues with it. So we need to make sure that we launch first to beta testers, and then our mainstream launch is gonna come later this month. I guess it's almost October, but in October, maybe like early to mid-October, we're going to do our mainstream launch. And I think that's smart because we don't want to rush things, right? So if you guys join the Discord, you let me know that you want to be a beta tester. Some of our mods will be able to put you in our beta tester program. Tralala said, is your app a one-time purchase, not subscription? No, it's a subscription. Sam Stone, welcome to the stream. How are you doing? Nick said, what do you think about MCP server for UI components like Eternity? Yeah, I think it's good. I think that MCPs are continuing to get better and better. So I would recommend using MCP. They're pretty useful. Clip Skirt said, how much did you spend on whole production for tokens and stuff? Not much, honestly. We're spending about $1,000 a month right now for all of we have the Pro plan for ChatGPT, and we have the Ultra plan for Cursor. And, right now we're spending about $1,000 a month, which is to be expected. You have to invest a little bit into a business before you start, getting the results, but I'm pretty happy with it. Dale Music said the Discord invitation link is invalid or expired. Let me generate a fresh one. Let's see here. So yeah, here's our Discord. Wow, a ton of people just joined. Shermanator said that he wants to be a okay, great guys. Thanks for, well, I'm just going to say welcome. All right, so thank you guys, whoever just joined, for all of these. Michael Osborne, LaHussein, Jonas, Emmanuel, thank you guys. I'm going to copy the link again just in case this is outdated. I'm going to copy this. Let's see here. But yeah, here's another link, guys. I just pasted the link to the Discord, so if you haven't already joined in, make sure you join the Discord. Sam Stone, is GLM 4.6 out today? Sam Stone said, how are you finding Sonnet 4.5? Do you see they have the UI chat like Cursor now too? It is a VS Code extension. Yeah, I mean, they would have to do that. It's like the great thing about competition, and the competition in the AI space, is there's so much of it. There's so much competition that, for example, if OpenAI comes out with GPT-5, which is a better model that's super cheap, then Claude or Anthropic literally has to respond with a cheaper model that's smarter. And I think that the models are just gonna go totally exponential. I mean, as you guys, have seen, as these models continue to get better, and then the end products like Codex, like Cursor, like Claude CLI, all these things, Claude Code, Gemini CLI, all these end products are getting so much better. Thank you to whoever just subscribed, by the way. And if you haven't already subscribed, we're only 11 subscribers away from 3,300, so we're getting close. All right, so this is updating. Here's the README. It just updated because essentially what we had to do is, because we updated and now have two environments, we essentially have our dev environment where we're storing all of our dev keys, and then we have our production where we have all of our production keys. Like, for example, even for this subscription service, you use a test mode in Stripe, and then in Stripe you have, like, literally when you're using Stripe, you have a completely separate token, you have a completely separate secret key. And here are all the environment variables that it gave us. So I'm just going to copy this, and we're going to Brother Code said I'm Shermanator. Okay, awesome. Yeah, I definitely, J35 definitely put Shermanator in the as a tester, because Brother Codes has been very active in chat. He's been very active in the stream, and he's followed along for a while now. So make sure that he becomes a beta tester. Let's see here. All right, so I have to log into ChatGPT real quick, but essentially what I'm going to do is I'm just going to make it so that we can get these keys set up, because right now what we were doing is we were just hard coding it, you know, and now what we have to do is we actually have to set the keys. So I'm logging into ChatGPT right now so we can get this going. Use my personal account, and then let's see here. Okay, so here's ChatGPT. Set this up, and then let's just copy and paste this in. J35 said he just added 3 people as beta testers. Perfect. Yeah, Sam, is GLM 4.6, is that out now? These models, like, everybody's having to catch up. Okay, so here are the environment variables that we're gonna need to add, and I actually need to create them. So give me 1 second. I'm gonna pull up VS Code so I can update these environment variables, and then we're gonna be able to test this. So on my end, I'm gonna have to update these environment variables. Obviously, you guys can't see the environment variables, but I'm gonna update them on my other monitor. Let's see here. All right, perfect. Okay, so I'm gonna copy this, and I'm now going to drop in our stuff here. All right. Okay, so I have those dropped in now. Alpha, thank you for subscribing. Guys, we're only 8 away from 3,300, so make sure that you like and subscribe if you haven't already. All right, J35 said 1 more person, we will close any more entries. Okay. Thanks, J35, for managing that. I appreciate it. Okay, so now we have those environment variables set, and now I'm going to have to go over to the test dashboard here and actually get that. So for those of you that are curious as to what that actually looks like, so here's a Stripe dashboard, and as you guys can see, I'm using test data. So this is essentially, I turned on test mode in my Stripe account, and now what you have to do is you have to go down to more, and you have to actually create your products. So it's actually not there. So I'm gonna have to search up in the search bar here, products. So if I look up products, you can go to a product catalog, and here are my existing products. So as you guys can see here, here are the Bridgemine plans, and then here are the ViewCreator plans. So this one actually here can be archived. So we're gonna archive that product. We're also gonna, there's a bunch of pros and pluses in here that I wanna archive because they're just too, it's making this messy. Let's archive this. Let's archive this. Let's archive this. Okay, so you have ViewCreator Ultra, ViewCreator Pro, and then we have 100, 250 set credits, 525, 1,075, 2,750. Let's just make sure, let's double check that that's actually correct. Let's just do this real quick. See here, so we have 2,500, so that's a little bit different than, wait, is it, hold up. Let's go to localhost real quick. And let's go down to pricing and see, is it, yeah, so it's bonus. So it's 100, 256, or 260, 525, 1,075, and then 2,750. So that's perfect. And then the only thing that we need to create that's missing is ViewCreator Starter. So let's create a product, and all you have to do is enter ViewCreator Starter. I'm not gonna upload, this is test, so I don't really have to do that much. And then it's a recurring $9.99 cost. So you put that in, and then we're gonna do add product. So that's now created. And now essentially what we have to do is, so these 3, I'm actually gonna have to copy, so I can go to their page here, right? And essentially here's what it looks like. You have your product ID over here, and then you actually have your price ID. But it's important that you just use the default price. So here, I'm gonna switch over here so that I have my 2 monitors up. Sam Stone said that GLM 4.6 is now available. Mohammed, how's it going? Welcome to the stream. So let's go over and actually add those product IDs now to our environment variables. let's go over here. I just want to make sure. Can you make sure that in the Stripe integration that the prices that are configured are just the default prices that we have set? So for example, as you know, in the Stripe dashboard, I can set a specific price ID or a specific price that's attached to a product as default. Make sure that the configuration is set so that it uses whatever the default price is. I think it does that by automatically, but there was one time where I learned from a mistake because essentially what I had was I had to set the product ID and then I also had to set the price ID, which got so annoying. Okay, I now have this set up, so thank you whoever just subscribed. Thank you for the support. Okay, so this is ViewCreator Pro. Drop this in. Go to products. Okay, so ViewCreator Ultra now. Thanks whoever just subscribed. We're 7 away from 3,300. We're almost there. All right, ViewCreator Ultra, and now I have to get ViewCreator Starter. Okay, so that's working. I'm working behind the scenes on my end too while it's going. All right, now we have to get all the ones for credits. Okay, sorry guys, I'm focused in for a second here. Man, I have to say it felt great to get the AWS infrastructure deployed. Last night, finally, it was like 10 p.m. and I finally got it and I was like, thank goodness. All right, so I now have those set up. So we're gonna test this here in a second. Just ensure that it is correct. We're gonna test sign up. But yeah, it should work. Gonna X out of EMV now. Okay, let me check chat, see what's going on. All right. The Gatto said, love the growth, commitment, and dedication. Always watching. Man, success is contagious. I'm trying Claude 4.5 and it's really good. Let's go, Gatto. Appreciate the support. That means so much to me. Yeah, success is contagious. And as you guys know, I'm not going to be stopping anytime soon. As you guys can see, we're up to $660 in revenue, which is a huge boost from where we were at just a couple days ago. We were stuck in the 50s and 60s for a while. And, you know, as you guys know, when you start making money, success begets success. So I expect, hey, when you're initially starting out something, you don't have a lot of traction. It's really difficult for it to get off the ground. But one thing to remember as an entrepreneur or a vibe coder or a programmer or whatever you are, you just, it doesn't matter. It can apply to so many different things in life. When you're initially getting started, like for example, when I initially start working out in the gym, I am not very strong. I'm really scrawny. But then if you just are consistent and you work at it for months on end, you make progress. And it's literally a guarantee that if you're consistent and if you work hard, you will make progress. Remember that. It's literally, it is guaranteed. So it's pretty cool. Josh, we're working on ViewCreator. So for those of you that are just joining us, ViewCreator is a platform where content creators and businesses are able to manage their social media platforms using AI. So right now we're pre-launch. We're about to launch the beta testers. A few of you just joined the Discord so that you could join our beta testing programs. Really appreciate you guys for joining that. Let's try this sign up now. So, yep. Okay, so let's see. So we chose starter. So let's just sign up. Let's go to, let's use BridgeMind apps plus. I know that we've used a lot of them. Let's just do 99. Let's do this. We actually haven't checked the functionality here in a while. I agree. All right, create account. All right. Email. All right, gonna grab the code real quick. And this is actually gonna test our new configuration that we just updated. Here's my code, verify. Oh no, I didn't verify. That's not good. All right, let's see what's going on. Ooh. Review the logs in depth. What caused it to fail after I entered my verification code and clicked the button to move on to the next step? What failed? Diagnose the problem, and don't update any code, but just let me know what actually happened. All right, so we're gonna do a diagnosis first, and we are using Claude 4.5 Sonnet for those of you wondering. So let's see here. Gato said consistency is the key. Keep going. You know I will, Gato. Yeah, Josh. So I'm using Claude 4.5, Cursor, and Whisperflow right now. I'm not a huge fan of Claude Code. I actually have some Codex browsers launched here, but right now we are working on this. It says, okay, wait, what's going on here? Wait, did we not save the? Hopefully we save. No, we definitely saved the environment variables. Oh, I think I need to restart the dev server. I don't think that the Nest actually pulls in new. Yeah. Oh, whoa. We got some problems here. That's why it failed. Oh my gosh. Run npm run build and diagnose the errors that are coming up. There's a ton of errors. These are usually typically fixed pretty easily, but yeah, let's run npm run build and just make sure that those actually throw. Oh. Okay, 977 errors. All right, let's open Flow Home. So for you guys that know, Whisperflow is nice because you can copy if you ever, make a mistake and copy your transcript. All right, let's see chat here. Clipskirt said, I don't mean this in any rude or bad way, just general question. Why did you choose this type of website with these tools? I mean, there are a lot of competitors that have the same or better tools. Yeah, so this is a really up-and-coming space, and we use SEMrush to be able to diagnose how much demand and competition there actually is in the market. So essentially what we did is using a tool called SEMrush, we were able to look up certain keywords and see what the market is searching for, and then also how many competitors are in the market. So we know exactly how many people are searching for specific keywords like YouTube thumbnail generator, and we know exactly how many competitors are in the market. And the demand versus competition ratio in this field is actually very good. So what I would say to you, Clipskirt, is that when you're getting into a space, it's very good to look at the data. So right now you're kind of just generally saying, hey, it's not going to work because there's competitors in the space and they have way better products. Well, you can say that about anything, right? Like if that's the mindset that you want to have, then why don't you just go sit in a hole and live the rest of your life in solitary and never do anything great in life? Instead, I think that the mindset should be, hey, look at the data, see what's going on, analyze, hey, what are the competitors in the market? How many people are searching for this tool, and what angle can I work? And I do think that we will be able to make a name for ourselves in this market. The field is blowing up. So I'm very excited to enter the market, and we'll see. I mean, I'm very optimistic and positive about it, and I think that those are two things that are the ingredients to success. So, we're going to find out, we're going to see how we do, but I'm very confident that we'll be able to do very well. Okay, let's see here. Checking Changes said, hey brother, can you tell me something? While releasing a early access registration page, do we need the working non-tested code service to be in there like a demo? Checking Changes, maybe you could elaborate a little bit more. Are you saying, yeah, I'm not sure what you're saying there. Sam Stone said, all well as consistency. I would say never worry about perfection. Things will never feel perfect. Many don't do things because they think it's not perfect. Yeah, it's very, very true. Yeah, sometimes I think that the best thing to do is just try something and see if you can get it to work and to just be consistent. It's like, for example, I've been doing this now for 40 days, right? And do you guys think that, it was fun when I was, streaming and nobody was watching? Do you think that it was fun when I was working on projects and they weren't working? no, it wasn't fun, but I knew what the result would be if I just kept going. And I knew, okay, I'm going to get better at this, and I'm not going to quit. I'm not going to stop. I'm not going to... okay, wait, hold up. We got some issues here. And, you know, consistency is literally the ultimate... It's the ultimate key. Okay, so you know what's really nice is that, as you guys can see there, so essentially in our sign-up process, and I'm going to just explain this from a programming perspective. Also, if you guys haven't already liked and subscribed, make sure you do so. We've got over 60 people watching, so if you haven't already liked and subscribed, make sure you do that. We're only 7 subscribers away from 3,300, so let's get there, guys. We'll get there in a couple minutes, so... but yeah, so as you guys could see, you know, that first sign-up failed because there was an error in the sign-up process, right? But the thing is that our account actually does get created on that initial sign-up. The email was verified, so I'm able to log in here, but I didn't actually submit my credit card and start my plan. So essentially what the logic that I built into ViewCreator is that if the user is authenticated, they have a plan set up, but they don't actually have a subscription plan, then it's going to pop up this modal and they cannot do anything if they haven't chosen a plan. So then if you click Start Free Trial, it's going to launch this little guy here, and we can just use a test card. Let's see here. So fingers crossed, guys. We did make some updates. This could fail, but let's see if it works. And it looks like it did. Let's refresh. Oh, I don't have webhooks set up. I don't have webhooks set up. I don't have my webhooks. Let's go here. Using the terminal, what would be the command so that I could have Stripe listen in on the local host for the webhooks endpoint, review the project, and identify what the command would be? Okay. So we're gonna get webhooks going. That's why that failed. Launch this. I'm gonna log in real quick. Give me 1 second. I need to log in. Okay, Stripe, log in. Let's go. Boom. All right, let me log in real quick, guys. Okay. All right, so after we get authenticated, we'll be able to test the subscription logic here. All right, allow access granted, and then I have to go over here and I have to copy this here. So you have to forward the port. No, I want to listen to all events. Okay, let's see here. TJ said, new here, the vibes are dope. What's your preferred workflow for vibe coding sessions at the moment? With so many tools, CLIs, and models, it can be a bit overwhelming. Also, how do you handle token cost? TJ, first of all, welcome to the stream. I'm glad you're here. And that's a really good question. So pretty much the workflow that we have, hold up, sorry, I gotta, there it is. Okay, so I have to use this command. So the workflow that I have, as you guys can see, I use Codex. So I have 4 agents launched here. We're mainly using 4.5 Sonnet right now. And this is going to help me describe my workflow a little bit. So essentially what I typically do is I'll use a cursor to do like tasks like this where I need a fast response, right? So if you're like working like we are right now, where we're kind of just like working at one task at a time and we're trying to like do a very specific thing, which is to configure our Stripe for the billing logic, then hey, you can go pretty fast and you can use cursor. And the nice thing about that is when you do that, it essentially allows you to use cursor and just go step by step really fast. That's the benefit of using cursor, is that it is very, very fast, which is great. Now, the thing is when you want to use some of the CLIs like Codex, which is also a very powerful tool, is when you have like multiple tasks that you're working on at the same time and you're able to manage multiple flows at once. And that's when I use Codex. So later in the stream, once we start to actually work on some complicated logic, okay, guys, as you guys can see, that did work. So this is looking good. Okay, so our Stripe logic's now updated, but we're gonna have to now update that logic in the development environment, because we now need to actually start testing in the AWS environment. So I'm going to take my environment variables. But now also one thing that I want to do is we need to get our S3 bucket configured correctly. So as you guys can see here, if I go to agents, actually no, a better example is templates. Do you guys see how like watch this. Let's just check this here. This is definitely not configured correctly because of our latest update with our CloudFormation deployment. If I go to new template and let's just put in a bunch of random stuff here, but if I try and let's say like I want to upload this here, oh well, that's using the same S3 bucket that I had before. So obviously that's working. Let me check the configuration. Here, let's see if that works. No preview available. Interesting. We're gonna have to take a look at our S3 configuration today, guys. Is another thing that we're gonna have on our task list. So let's do, so this is a perfect example of, hey, this is when we need to use Codex because we're about to have to do a complete review. So let's have this do a complete review by just putting /review and get this agent working for us. And then I'm gonna have another agent. I'm gonna say, I need you to take a close look at the configuration of the S3 bucket that is used and come back to me with a complete report and review of how my S3 bucket is configured, both in CloudFormation and how that's set up, as well as how my API then connects to it and integrates with it, and come back with a complete review and report. So let's just do a review there on that agent, and then this is going to be a little bit more specific. Also, if you guys are watching and haven't already liked and subscribed, we're only 3 subscribers away from 3,300. So we're getting really, really close. Let me do an MFA. I need an MFA code real quick so that I can get into my AWS account. Give me 1 second here. Okay. Okay, there we go. Let's see here. Let me check chat. So Malabis just asked a good question. He said, were you a dev before you started vibe coding? I think you need some degree of knowledge to build a production-ready application. Yeah, so that's true. I was a developer. I started programming when I was a teenager and then got really into it when I was in college. But I will say most of my experience came from actual startup experience. In the last 3 years, I've been in 4 startups. The biggest one being Bright Choice, which was an online therapy platform where I had to write 2 million lines of code in less than 6 months. And at Bright Choice, we did use a lot of AI. We used a lot of vibe coding to actually build that platform. So just an interesting thing to note there. Okay, let's see here. Is Google SSO fixed? Doom, remember that the Google SSO, it's not going to be configured until we actually get our environment polished up. So the Google SSO actually isn't broken. It's just that we haven't gotten our environment configured correctly. So we'll need to take a look at that. But that right now is like a little bit on the back burner to some extent in terms of, I know that the functionality is correct, it works, but it doesn't work in production yet, so. Dev Super VIP said that Codex, he doesn't like Codex because it takes a long time to do nothing. So the difference between Codex and Cursor, for example, is that with Codex, it does take a long time, but it does a really good job at running its commands. So usually you'll use Codex for things like doing exactly what we're doing, like doing an in-depth review and figuring out long performing tasks. All right, guys, we're 1 subscriber away from 3,300. Who's it going to be? If you haven't liked and subscribed, make sure you do that. Like and subscribe. Let's go. All right. So that's now working. And we're going to have to take a look at our S3 configuration. But we also now need to get our variables up into our task definition. So let's go to our task definitions. Let's go to the dev API, and I now need to create a new revision. Hey, let's go. Wow, thanks everybody for subscribing. We just blew past 3,200. We're at 3,300 now. It's pretty cool. All right, so I'm looking at what we have here. We're going to add in the new environment variables just manually in the task definition. There's no reason to really, or I guess we should use CloudFormation to do it. Okay. All right, we're going to use CloudFormation for this. Okay. Now we're not going to use CloudFormation, it just adds a couple secrets. Okay. All right, I'm going to add secrets real quick, guys, so I won't be looking at chat. All right, so here it says both buckets use deletion policy retained, so manual cleanup is required. Stacks are destroyed. S3 bucket unset. Okay. This review from Codex on our configuration for the S3 bucket. I now need your opinion and thoughts on the best way to actually integrate and test this when I'm testing on my local machine. So for example, I need to make sure that I'm connected and I'm able to test the S3 configuration when I'm on my local machine. But the problem is, you know, for example, when I'm testing locally, how would I connect to the S3 bucket? Don't look at my environment variables, but just diagnose what the correct way to connect to the dev S3 bucket would be so that I can actually manage the S3 uploads in the project. All right, we're gonna do that. CloudFormation. Oh. All right, so let's submit that. Don't update any code, just explain for now. Let's just switch this to plan. Ask. All right, there we go. All right, I'm gonna check chat. Okay, Aperium, how's it going? Yeah, we're at 661 in revenue. Cameron Cole said, do you think vibe coding is the future of coding? Yeah, it's not even a question, obviously. Yeah, I mean, it's this is the future for sure. And what's interesting is that, you know, there were so many naysayers, and, you know, that's why you don't doubt technology. I mean, it's so powerful now. Pix asks, how do you handle poor UI generated by AI? Any special tricks? Yeah, using examples or using MCPs or things like 21st Dev is usually really helpful. Okay, so it says from the code, your service requires these environment variables. It was credentialed, but all right. So it says that the recommended option is to use the dev bucket. So the question is, how do we access the dev bucket? Is it okay? Okay. Okay. So let me do this real quick. So the AWS region, the AWS S3 bucket. The media CDN. All right, give me 1 second, guys. I'm gonna use the restroom real quick. If you haven't already liked and subscribed, now would be a great time to do so. We're at 3,304 subscribers. So if you're watching, you have just been chilling, you've been enjoying the vibes. I'm gonna go to the bathroom real quick and grab a protein bar. But if you haven't already done that, now would be a great time to do so. All right, guys, I'm back. All right. Okay. So I'm gonna need to focus in here and get this configured correctly. I'm gonna go to S3. All right, so it is, okay. Aperium, I'm still waiting on AWS Activate. I haven't heard back from them yet. All right, guys, I'm getting some sensitive stuff on my end, so I'm gonna use my other monitor for a second. Frosty said, hey man, what was the app you're using for voice to text? It's Whisperflow. Matthew Chang said, do you ever get rate limited with ChatGPT Pro looking at the number of instances you are running? Yeah, I haven't been rate limited yet. Yeah, it works pretty good for me. Cameron Cole said, do you think using Ollama for AI in a project is better than using normal AI like ChatGPT and DeepSeek? No, I don't, because Ollama isn't that good, right? Isn't it not good? Okay. TJ said, I noticed better UI designs when I started using MCPs from popular design registries like StradCN. Yeah, that's smart. Where'd the music go? Okay. Hold up, guys. Oh, sorry. Hopefully I didn't just blow anybody's ears out. Okay. All right, CDN. Okay. All right, hold on, chat. I'm gonna be locked in for a couple minutes on. Hope you guys are vibing along with me. I'm kind of locked in on some private stuff that I can't share on stream. It's like keys and stuff. Okay. I have put this into my environment variables now. Does this look correct? Are we going to be able to correctly test the S3 bucket upload now? Okay, let's test the upload. I don't think this is gonna work though. I think it's gonna bug out. Let's see. So basically what I just did is I just changed our configuration to use the dev. I mean, that uploaded perfectly. Oh, it's because I have not yet updated this. Hold on. Once I use the new keys, it's probably gonna fail. Okay. All right, let's test failure in 3, 2, 1. Oh, what? Worked. All right, I'm gonna check chat. Let's see here. Imperium said that he got good news from Azure. Frosty said, does it work with VS Code? Yeah, so basically how Whisper Flow works is you can put it anywhere on your computer. Like, you just attach it to, like mine, whenever I click the FN key, Whisper Flow activates and it's gonna start listening in. And then essentially how it works is wherever you have selected on your computer, it's going to essentially then input what you told it to say. All right, it's saying that it's working correctly. So this is a test. See here, failed to fetch. You guys see that? It said failed to fetch. Please add the CNAME record respectively. Okay. If you guys are watching, haven't already liked and subscribed, make sure you do so. Let's do a quick sub check. We are up to 3,305. That's pretty good. Let's go. Thanks for the support, everyone. All right, so that did not upload. Let's see if it actually, let's check PG admin, see if it did upload it to the database though. So if we go to our servers here, we open up localhost, and we go to templates. Open templates. Okay. So here is the one in question. Which one did we just do? Is the one where we just said this is a test, right? This is a test, so this is null. So you guys can see that I did not append that correctly. So, okay. Good to know. Good to know, good to know. Okay. Okay. All right, let's try this again. Test 2. So this S3 bucket upload is actually really important. That didn't work. These are the logs that I have when I was creating a template. However, with the template that I created, the S3 bucket upload did not work. Wait, actually, one thing that we should check is we should check in the S3 bucket, like, is, wait, hold up. I'm gonna check, essentially, if, okay, ends in 10. All right, 10, okay. There it is. 03, okay, perfect. Okay, yeah, no objects being uploaded. Is it, I mean, the allowed origins. Oh, obviously, wait, hold up. This might just be a cores issue. Yeah, that's a cores issue. Ah, come on, can't stop me. Typical type. That is typical. It looks like it's a cores issue. Would it be okay to allow traffic from localhost 3000 on my machine so that I can do the uploads and test locally? Guys, one thing to note that I learned when doing this most recent CloudFormation deployment is that Cursor, this is important, guys. Cursor is very good at using the AWS CLI. So, for example, you know, what I'm doing right now is I'm literally using Cursor. You guys can't see it right now because it's totally private. It's too sensitive to show on a stream, AWS environment and keys and stuff. But, you know, something to know is that it's very good at using AWS CLI because, as you guys know, if you're familiar with AWS, essentially you can use the CLI to do everything. Like, you don't actually need to actually access the AWS console to build stuff. You can essentially just use the CLI, and Cursor is really good at using the CLI. And when I was using CloudFormation, it was using describe stacks. And what describe stacks is describe stacks is where, let's say that you have a CloudFormation deployment and it fails, right? Cursor was crushing it on actually being able to diagnose what was going wrong. Okay, guys, this moment of truth here. Was it the cores error? Was that the real problem? Let's see here. Let's see here. Great. Oh. All right. It's a different error this time. Different error. Maybe it was a API-based error this time, which was not. Now why is it failing? I tested it again, and this is the errors that I got. All right. Okay. James said Cursor is money hungry. All right. Failed to fetch. Oh, I'm gonna have to fix that, aren't I? That's all right. That's an easy fix. Okay, so it says that it found the issue. The pre-signed URL is signed with the XAMZ server-side encryption header, but the front end isn't sending it. Let me fix this. Okay, so essentially we have this encryption, and here is the issue that I'm seeing. Okay, so just updated the front end code. Let's update this as well. What are these errors that I'm seeing in the front end, and why are they happening? Can you please fix them? Oh, so now it's actually going back through and it's updating all the places in the front end where that upload happens, because it needs to send the encryption as well. J35 is cracking me up. He says that Matt loves expensive products. He is Bruce Wayne from Gotham. You guys are cracking me up. Jose said, "Oh my gosh, you guys got me dead." For all of you that have been here for a while now, look at what's going on. You know, we've got average of like 38, 40 watchers. Revenue's up to 616. We're only on day 40. Like, we're early on in the process, truthfully. Like, you guys are still early, you know? Pretty cool. All right. I remember when I first started, though, I had very few viewers, and I just told myself, I'm going to be consistent. I'm going to build products, and people are going to start to tune in. We're going to build a platform. We're going to build a community, and that's what's going on now. Pretty cool. Oh, I see what's happening, guys. No EMV. Oh. Matir said, do you prefer Claude Sonnet 4.5 or GPT-5 Codex High? And if Codex High versus GPT-5 High? Yeah, I mean, I think that, if I'm using Cursor, I'm going to use Sonnet now, 4.5. And then if I need a GPT model, I'll use Codex, GPT-5 High Codex, yeah. All right. So I actually have to add a new environment variable, next public media CDN domain, and add this. Okay, 1 second. Okay. And this should update automatically, right? Okay, so it says that this should work, so let's test it. Let's see here. Compiling. What? That's an easy fix. Okay. Dugal said 661. Wow, going from 50 to 660 is insane. But you never told. How did you actually market it? How did you pull that traction so fast? So yeah, so the revenue tracker is for any revenue that BridgeMind makes. So that could be from any of our products, which is Goalpost, BridgeMind.ai, ViewCreator.ai, which is soon, and then also YouTube revenue or Twitch revenue or TikTok revenue, wherever we get revenue from. So revenue as a whole. But yeah, we're going up pretty quickly. Good to see it jump like that. Frosty said, thanks, BridgeMind. This is motivating. Yeah, that's what it's for, is it's like, hey, this stuff is tough. After, having the experiences that I've had with startups, I know that, hey, this stuff is, it's tough. And sometimes it's good to know that, hey, you're in it with somebody else or you're working alongside somebody else. What is going on here? But yeah, that's exactly what it's for. So Frosty, appreciate the feedback. And thanks for the support as well. Also, if you guys are watching and haven't already liked and subscribed, make sure you do so. We're up to 3,307 subscribers, so let's keep it going. If you're in here, you haven't already liked and subscribed, we really appreciate the support. All right, that looks like it fixed that. Okay, so all right, this should work, guys. This should work, but it was supposed to work the last 2 times as well, so test 4. All right, let's drop a random image in here. Boom. All right. Let's go! Let's go! Didn't get through me the error that time. But did it actually put the error? Did it put it in here? Let's go! Let's go! Test 4. Look at this. That's the image we just did. Now the question is this a public image? Because it looks like it's getting blocked. So this is the image. Oh my gosh, that's so badass. Let's go. Oh, that feels great. Yeah, Frosty, ViewCreator isn't launched yet. J35 said, I would also love a Droid stream. Yeah, so J35, let's plan on that. I think, so something really cool is, I'm actually going to look up Droid. Let's see here. Droid AI coding. Droid, open source. It's factory AI, right? This is it, right? Droid. If you guys... Droid. Oh, yeah. All right, I'll make a video on Droid tomorrow. J35. So tomorrow I'll be back again. So I actually skipped school yesterday. As you guys know, I'm still finishing up my college degree, and I skipped school in order to get our CloudFormation deployment up and running. So I skipped, and then it did work this time. So uploading images to the bucket now works. However, if you go to this URL, you'll be able to see the image, and it is public when I'm accessing it through the URL. The issue is that for the actual user, I can't see it on the templates page. Why is this happening? Doom, I saw what you said. I'll use Cursor and figure out what's going on here. as you can see, test 4, the image is not properly showing in the application. Okay, so this should work now. That feels great. Find yourself, how's it going? Nah, Doom, we already did the cores error. Doom, you guys like the lives better than the videos? Okay. We can do a droid stream here soon. Yeah, Doom, it's not a cores error anymore. We fixed that. It's a I'm using cursor to figure it out. So it says that the issue, oh, it actually may be a cores issue. You may be right. It says the issue is that Next.js's image component is trying to optimize proxy the image server side, but it's failing. Let me check the CloudFront cores configuration, and let's see what it says. Sorry, Doom, I forgot you were clutch like that. Okay, so it's updating the next config file now. Let's see here. One thing also with Claude 4.5 Sonnet is that it doesn't use a lot of context per request. It's like its context management is really good. Build with Carlos said, brother, I'm just passing by to say congratulations. Thanks, Carlos. Yeah, we've been grinding hard. You guys can see the revenue. We're gonna start to the revenue is gonna start to boom, in my opinion. I think it's gonna start to just absolutely rack up. You guys know I'm not gonna give up easy. So Find Yourself said, big fan from India. Find Yourself, really appreciate your support. It means the world, seriously. Okay. Let's see here. But yeah, I can do a stream using Droid. But honestly, guys, the finishing out my degree is like really annoying. I've got like 3 months left, and I'm starting to consider. I'm like, should I really be doing it? Should I be? I've got obviously Bridge Mind, which is starting to have a lot of success. So I just feel weird about it. If you guys are watching, haven't already liked and subscribed, make sure you do so. We are at 3,309 subscribers, so gonna just keep racking it up, I guess. Dougal said, Dougal, I hope I'm not butchering your username, but he said that the icons feel a bit generic. I'd go with Tabler or Phosphoricons for a cleaner UX, by the way. Oh, he redacted his message. That was a good message. Why did it get retracted? I was gonna Google that. Oh, guys, it worked. All right, so here's our image now. Sam Stone said, might as well power through. You only got 3 months left. You'll feel happy you did it after. Okay. Yeah, thanks, guys. I'll power through. But it's like, what's tempting? Okay, so here's, guys, let's go. We are killing it. Let's go. But yeah, I mean, look at this. Okay, this is awesome, guys. This is perfect. Wow, okay. So cool. All right, so that does work. Hassan, good to see you. Welcome to the stream. He said he's about to complete his bachelor's in design in 6 months. Well, I guess we're all just in it together then, aren't we? I'll have to stream from class. I'll be like, the title of the video will be like vibe coding in my lecture. It does feel like a waste of time though, if I'm being completely honest, because, obviously, I've got other stuff that I really enjoy doing that I'm focused on, and it's just kind of hard to, to do stuff that I'm, not as interested in. Like, I'm not really that interested in a finance degree, Okay, so something that I want to try now is let's pull up, let's test our YouTube thumbnail generator out, and let's see if this actually now works with the new configuration. as you guys know, it's like, oh geez. As you guys know, it's like we just changed the configuration. So, okay, so let's like take this thumbnail for example. Okay, so let's take this. Okay, so this is the thumbnail that we have, all right? This is what we got. So let's drop this in here. Update this thumbnail and remove the cursor and Codex logos. Let's just try that. Can it remove stuff? Oh. What caused this failure on the YouTube thumbnail generator page? All right, I'm gonna be able to show my browser again here in a minute too, guys. ShadCN is way more modern. Yeah, let's actually integrate the ShadCN MCP, because I actually don't have that integrated. ShadCN MCP. ShadCN MCP. Okay, so here it is. Copy page. And then let's drop in. Okay, select your client MPP. Okay. Okay. All right, so we'll integrate ShadCN, because also, and this is something that Doom actually has drawn my attention to. So Doom, I really appreciate you, because basically Doom talks about mobile responsiveness and mobile first development a lot. And as a reminder, it's like, hey, we do have a lot to do in terms of that functionality. We got a lot to do. I want to make sure that that's polished up. Abdul, how's it going? Welcome to the stream. Good to see you. Oh yeah, J35 said let's check the, okay, so J35 just gave me a command that we're gonna run, and this command essentially checks how much I've spent using my ChatGPT Pro plan. So 142, that's all right. I mean, I still have plenty of time left in my plan, so I think I'll get use out of it for sure. Loopless, no, that is not a typo. We're now at $661. Abdul, I'm using Cursor, and then I'm also using Codex, so pretty decent usage so far. Okay, so I think I'm able to show my project now. So basically here's what we have, updating this. But yeah, I was updating a ton of environment variables and stuff. Dougal, that's a very, very good point. Yeah, I mean, I think we've got a pretty good plan for marketing. As you guys know, we're going to be doing paid ads, and I'm really excited. You know, it's going to be all very transparent. We're going to do 3,000 in paid ads in October, and then that's going to go up to 6,000 in November, and then 12,000 in December. So I'm excited to do that with you all. It's going to be pretty cool journey. But for just the beginning of it, right? All right, so let's go back to the platform tools page, and then YouTube thumbnail generator. And then let's drop that image back in. Nice. All right, so didn't get that error. Douglas said that he's been in this for 10 years, and the truth is code is a commodity, distribution is everything. Yeah, I actually really like that you said that. Oh my gosh, guys, this is actually amazing. That's a really good feature, guys. I mean, look at what it was able to do. It was able to... Where's that image? So it was able to move the cursor logo in the Codex logo, and then it was able to get our title in there, and then it was able to keep essentially my face totally intact. So I'm like super impressed. Abdul just asked, do you think vibe coding is the future? 100% I do. Here's another one that I really like. Honestly, guys, let's use this for... Oh. That failed. All right, so I'm going to X out. I'm going to start a new cursor conversation, and I'm going to say, why did this fail to download the image? Yeah, that's a huge W, isn't it, Doom? I mean, that's a demoable feature. And, you know, to Douglas' point, is what Douglas saying is he's saying, hey, you know, anybody can code things, right? But it's marketing that plays a huge piece. And what my goal is I hope that through, oh shoot, I might have to, yeah, Gamer Clash, it's Nano Banana. Okay, actually, I need to use that one again. Okay, so let's just X out of this. But I mean, this is a demoable feature, and I think what's pretty cool is that what we're gonna do for marketing is that you guys know, obviously from watching me, that I can speak well, I can carry myself well. I think that you need to have a good understanding of what your strengths are. And some of my strengths are, and I'll just give you guys an example of it, is that I was the guy that when I was in in school, and I had this speech class, right? And this is actually a really cool story. So I was in a speech class my freshman year of college, and in this speech class, you had to essentially do a bunch of research, and then you had to present your research on like some topic, right? And you had to give a presentation, right? And I'm not kidding, I did no research, and I didn't even have I didn't do any research. I didn't even have a topic that I was gonna do, and everybody else was prepared. They had like these robust presentations and whatnot, and essentially I went up to the front of the class and I riffed and I made up everything. Like I had access to like the computer essentially, so I was at the front of the class and you were able to use the computer, and I essentially just made up a speech on the spot about how sugar was bad for you, and how like the speech was about something like that, and I was able to basically make up a bunch of statistics, and I got 100 on the speech. Okay, is this working now? I think it's still failing, right? Not work. Dougal, I won't. J35 said I could be a politician. Jose, that's hilarious. Okay, Dougal, that's actually really good advice. So Dougal said, your CAC will crush your LTV. Instead, obsess over outreach, cold calls, DMs, emails, whatever you'll actually do consistently. Getting your first 100 paying customers, all about direct outreach. Yeah, I also do want to do paid ads, though. I will say that, Dougal. We do have a budget to spend on paid ads. You know, it's not like I have no money to spend on paid ads. I think that it's best, you know, for what we're doing here. Okay, I think it did download, right? That download. I don't think that downloaded. Gamer Clash says that he thinks that Gemini 3.0 will be the best coding model. I mean, we'll see. I feel like the... Okay, wait, hold up. I need to fix that. When I click the download button, it is not actually downloading the image onto my machine. Instead, it is just redirecting me to the URL of the image. Chat just asked what cursor version are you using? I'm actually not sure, but the latest one. Sam Stone said, we used to do a similar thing at an old workplace. You took turns getting a random presentation from LinkedIn and you had to present it. Teaches you to speak and be confident during unknown. Yeah, I mean, being able to speak and being confident with who you are is very important. You know, I've always just enjoyed a challenge like that, of being able to kind of go and riff. You know, that's really what it is. It's riffing. And I think that's pretty cool. So J35 said, no, I think differently. Instead of paid ads, target your niche. As a YouTuber, you got like a good following, a viral video that's a demo of your product would be a great start. Just build in public over X. Yeah, I mean, what I'm thinking is that, let's say that once we do get to a point where we've tested it with beta testers, we're ready to go. I think during that period, I actually need to be creating demo videos. And I'll upload. Why is that still doing the redirect? What the heck is going on? I am still getting this error. Okay. So, I mean, this works pretty good. Like, this is a demoable feature. So for example, hey, all I have to do is it'll probably be, you know, a 2-minute video on using the ViewCreator thumbnail generator. And then I'll just put a bunch of ad dollars behind it. And that video will blow up. It'll blow up the channel. It'll blow up all the marketing channels. So I think that we really are onto something with what we're doing. I'm really excited about it, to be honest. So if you guys are watching, you haven't already liked and subscribed, let's do a quick sub check to see where we're at. Looks like we're at 3,310 subscribers. So if you're watching, you've been enjoying the live stream, you haven't already liked and subscribed, make sure you do that. I really appreciate the support. Thanks, guys. I would recommend buying Cursor Pro. All right, let's just create an image without a reference. Try this. So let's try no reference image. What is it able to create? Because I'm pretty sure this is the issue, is that when you're using the Gemini, or not Gemini, when you're using Nano Banana Edit, if you don't give it a reference image, then it creates a, yeah, I think it just, oh wait, we just updated the backend, so that killed our prompt. Oh man, that stinks. All right, it just updated the API, so it killed our request, unfortunately. Oh, there we go. Thumbnail generation process. I forgot that it creates a job. Shivam, how's it going? Welcome to the stream. Oh, geez. Dougal, what's your background? Are you a marketing person? Oh, J35 says that he disagrees with Dougal. Gozoop, welcome to the stream. How's it going? For those of you that have just joined the stream and you've been following along, we do successfully have our AWS infrastructure set up. We got our CloudFormation deployed, which is great. I mean, I worked so hard on that, and so it felt great to get that up. But yeah, I'm excited, guys. Right now we're working on, essentially, now that we have this configuration, we need to make sure that we actually have our S3 bucket uploads working. So it's decently complex since we had to have, we had to set up a different infrastructure for this. But let's see here. Let's see if this works. So it says restart the API. I think I already did that. Let's try it. Oh, there we go. We got it. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. All right, guys, I'm gonna use the restroom real quick. I'll be right back. If you haven't already liked and subscribed, make sure you do so. And look at that, guys. We got it. Let's go. That is so sick. Oh my gosh. So literally we took this image and we turned it into this. Pretty decent just for initial functionality. I mean, that's awesome, guys. Let's go. Looks so sick. All right, I'll be right back. All right, guys, I'm back. Brother Code said, is the file less than 2 MB? Let's see. So let's now go over to my YouTube channel here. Let's go to YouTube and let's actually update this. So I'm gonna go to all right, so you go to content, go to live, or wait, no, videos. So we're gonna update this thumbnail here. And then let's go down to the thumbnail, do change, and then drop in our new thumbnail here. Boom. All right. Okay. So this is what it looks like. That's pretty good. Yeah, it's 2 KB. That's how much it was. What's this down here though, and why is it doing it 220 by... What would be causing that? Okay, let's close out all this. Okay, let's actually start like getting some serious vibe coding in now, guys. I've been doing all this like basically a bunch of private stuff that I can't show, but now let's get it going for real. Okay. All right. Sean Davis, I use Jest to test the API. All right, so that works. Let's launch localhost here. Okay. Run npm run build in the UI and fix any build errors. Okay. Ran npm run build, so it cached. All right, let's get the MCP set up. So shadcn MCP cursor. Oops. All right, so let's get shadcn MCP added. So configuring MCP server, installing dependencies, and then we're gonna also add this to Codex. All right, configuration saved. Claude code cursor VS Code. Okay. I just added the shadcn MCP. Can you confirm that you have access to it? MC Naveen, how's it going? Welcome to the stream. It's good to see you. Nicole, I'm using Codex under my ChatGPT plan. Oh wait, what's going on? I'll check what MCP servers. I don't see the shadcn. Hasn't been properly connected. Do you guys know why this isn't connected properly? MC Naveen, no, I'm still doing 5 a.m. sessions. Yesterday I was busy because I was doing the CloudFormation deployment. And honestly, I actually had to kind of just like lock in on that because essentially we couldn't make any progress until I got that up. So I had to kind of fix that. All right, so it says that the shadcn MCP is disabled. So now it's turned on. Okay, 7 tools enabled. So now that should work. Let's see here. I just enabled it. Check to see and try again. Okay. No MCP. What the heck? All right, says it's working perfectly. Now take a look at the dashboard in the ViewCreator UI and use the shadcn MCP to improve the UI and some of the pages with shadcn, and think deeply about mobile-first development. I want you to begin by updating these pages to use shadcn. Yeah, I need to go to the config toml. So let's get it connected there. Let's just do this. Oh, copy page. Add the shadcn MCP to the config.toml file to properly add this MCP into Codex. All right, there we go. All right, so what pages do we want to start off with this new MCP? Also, is the build going? If it is, Okay, looks like it is. Let's now run npm run dev again, so that refreshes. Also, let's do a quick deployment. We need to deploy, let's see here, let's deploy this. Deploy. We need to deploy this. Deploy. And yeah, we're good. All right, deployed that. Don't allow. Do not want to allow you to access my, nope. Don't allow. Nope. 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 Codex is trying to get into my private information. All right, let's do this page first. Let's try this, and then also this one as well. So let's try the shad cn MCP with these two pages here. Yes, let's approve that. Okay. Mohammed, the launch is not today. We are launching as soon as possible to beta testers. If you guys haven't already liked and subscribed, make sure you do so. Can I add this to the allow list? Yes. We're getting brand deals and stuff, guys, so we're getting more revenue. So the revenue tracker is any revenue that BridgeMind makes, that's going to go towards the counter. So we now are doing some brand deals. We've got Goalpost, we've got BridgeMind.ai, and then soon, which is going to be kind of the main product, obviously, that we're focusing on, is ViewCreator. I think ViewCreator is going to generate a lot of revenue once we start running paid ads and then doing our outreach and demo videos. I think we're going to do really well. So all right, so as you guys know, we have this transcript generator, which is a pretty big tool that people are looking for. The transcript generator right now, we're going to work on this a little bit. It needs some work. But while we're doing that, I also need to go over to our AWS environment and make sure that I now add in these new variables. Okay. We have to make this demo video soon, guys. How it works section on the home page. the gradient on the button and the gradient in the section does not follow the theme of the page, think deeply and use the shadcn MCP that I have connected to properly use shadcn for this component and improve its mobile responsiveness and make it match the theme of the site. Roy just asked, how many hours a day do you work on this? I pretty much work all day. You know, my life basically is built around building. So, you know, I would say probably about 10 hours a day. I stream about 4 to 5 hours a day. Okay. MC Naveen just asked, what camera am I using? I'm just using my computer's camera. It's built into it. I'm using like a studio display. Using the shadcn MCP, update and improve this section on the home page. If you guys are watching, haven't already liked and subscribed, make sure you do so. All right, how's Cursor doing on that task? Let's go check our dashboard. Zero, I'm building ViewCreator. With ViewCreator, brands and creators are able to access an AI platform where they're able to actually create content for their platforms using AI, so that it cuts down on the amount of time that it actually takes to release and create content that's viral, and it also makes for much easier management. Okay, so one thing that we're gonna do next, guys, is we're actually gonna build in the logic of brand profiles. So something to note is that, for example, we're gonna have to build in the ability for users to upload things like their logos. They're gonna have to integrate up the logics to be able to provide a description of their brand and essentially what their brand stands for, so that the content that they create while in the platform always has a reference to, you know, what brand they're creating the content for. And this was something that I knew that I wanted to create about 3 weeks ago, but I knew that until we had the logic hooked up for the S3 bucket, that it was not really much use to actually build that logic. So something that we're gonna add is we're actually gonna add a page here, and we're gonna create a new database table, and we're gonna create the logic for users to be able to update and upload things related to their brand and manage different brand profiles. So give me 1 second, and we're gonna build this this page. Let me check chat real quick. Mike, good to see you. Mike. Someone said, hey, quick question. What's the speech to text thing you have? Is it a Mac only thing? No, so we're using Whisper Flow. With Whisper Flow, you're able to use text to speech dictation, which is really nice. Or I guess it's speech to text. All right, let's check this. Looks like the YouTube transcript generator page is being updated. Push Coalition said important tips, security around XSS and SQL, and SSO on regarding file uploading. Yeah, so we did mitigate those protections when we were building our logic for this. And let's actually ask. Let's ask Codex to do a review, just so we can do a double check here. Do not update any code, just give me your thoughts. All right, so Push Coalition, I appreciate you. Albert said revenue is way up there. That's what I'm talking about. It is. It is. We're going to the moon, guys. Yeah, I told you guys I'm a good horse to bet on. I'll tell you that much. I am a good horse to bet on. All right, YouTube transcript generator. Okay, so it's getting a plan ready for those security protections. All right, so the homepage is now updated. Let's see what it did. Nice, that actually looks much better. So this used Shad CN for that. That looks a lot better. That actually does look a lot better. All right, let's go check the YouTube transcript generator. See how that looks. If you guys haven't already joined the Discord, J35 just dropped a link to it. Make sure you join the BridgeMine Discord. We've got a pretty good community in there now. Okay, so here it is. Think deeply about updates that we could make to the API to integrate these security checks without breaking existing functionality. Think deeply and generate a plan. Don't update any code, just generate an actual plan of what you could update and how you would go about implementing these security protections. Risky. Welcome to the stream. Good to see you. How's it going? J35 said, how are you doing the transcript function using model or just YouTube subtitles? So right now this functionality doesn't work great for the transcript, so we're actually going to use this in a second. I was just wanting to update the UI to get it working a little bit better. But for the transcript generator, why did it not... You did not properly do what I wanted you to do. I wanted you to put the input at the bottom of the YouTube transcript generator page and change the styling of the page to be more like the YouTube thumbnail generator page where there is a list of jobs that display, and the user prompts at the bottom of the page using the input. They should essentially just be able to upload, you know, like an MP3 file or whatever, an MP4 file or an audio file, all those different file types. You don't necessarily have to use the same exact input component, but it should be styled similarly and function similarly to the one that's on the YouTube thumbnail generator page. Think deeply before you integrate an update. All right. Okay, added the shad CN entry point. Okay, so preview the updated homepage. This is good, but I don't like how you added essentially this quotation icon that's in the background. It kind of distracts from the actual text content of the review. Remove this. All right, so now we're gonna build that logic that I was talking about. So let's launch Codex here. I am building a new feature for ViewCreator. This feature is a concept that I am calling brand profiles. Users can create multiple brand profiles in their account, and using brand profiles, they will be able to create different brand profiles for different brands that they will manage inside of the account. They will be able to upload things like logos, image assets, a description of what their brand represents. Also, they can input things like hashtags that they know are popular that they want to save in their brand profile for reference. So for example, I have a brand called BridgeMind, and with BridgeMind, I know that vibe coding, Codex, and GPT-5 are popular hashtags. So what users will be able to do is they'll be able to add multiple hashtags to their brand profile so that then when other parts of the application are building, let's say titles or descriptions, it's able to reference those hashtags. Think deeply about what that could look like, and then assist me in building out the entities in the database and in the API to build a new entity called brand profiles. Don't worry about migrations or anything else yet, just create the entities. Oh yeah, colors for brand profiles too. But let's just create the entities to get started first. Thanks, Linux. Linux just created a new Discord, new channel in the Discord. Yeah, so basically in our Discord, we one of our mods, the Linux thing, who's a great mod. He's actually our admin mod, and he's been here since day one. He's literally an OG. He just created a new channel in our Discord where users are free and welcome and actually encouraged to share the projects that they are working on. So if you are working on a project and you'd like some feedback or you'd like some people to check it out, feel free to join the Discord. The link's in the description, and I'm sure that J35 also has it lying around as well. Doom said, I hope you are going to use an AI model for the YouTube transcript if you want it to be good. YouTube subtitles is so bad. Yeah, we're going to use like Whisper or something. That's what we're using currently. Also, why is this song playing? This song is like distracting. Sorry. Also, if you guys haven't already liked and subscribed, make sure you do so. Channel and community has been growing really fast, so we're one away from 3,320 subscribers. So if you haven't already subscribed, you'll be our 3,320th subscriber. Oh, already there. Thanks for the support, guys. Let's go. Oh my gosh, I'm dead. Fifth Batman. So somebody in chat, Fifth Batman said, dude, why are you being so polite to an AI on prompt? I just talk shit and it actually gives me better code. All right, I'll try and be more rude. Yod Mama said, congrats on the new revenue. Thanks, Yod Mama. I appreciate it. I've worked really hard, guys. As you know, I've been grinding for, 40 days, and, we'll get there. All right, let's see what this did. Okay, so, oh my gosh. Oh, this looks great. Let's go. Let's go, guys. All right, so here's what it created. So transcript generator now just has essentially a upload audio or video file It lets me have some settings here. Oh my gosh, this looks so good. All right, so let's drop in a, can I find a video on Finder that's like a simple one? Let's see here. MP4. See if I can just find a simple MP4. All right, so here is a, what is this one? Okay, this is like a short. Okay, so I should be able to upload this. So I can drag and drop. You can see it's, all right, sorry if that blew your ears out. All right. Make it so that users can drag and drop files over the input space to upload. J35 said to give it death threats. I saw there's like some channel out there where the guy said, he was like, do it or you'll go to jail. I don't know if you guys seen that. It had like 20 million views or something, but it was like just funny. It was like a vibe coding thing. He's like, do it or you'll go to jail. All right, let's check it out. Someone said, I'm currently making a CLI mix of Claude X Codex. Best of both worlds. It's going to be named Claude X. Just a fun little thing I'm trying to make. That's a cool project, man. Yeah, definitely join the Discord and share that. That sounds really cool. All right, let's try this. Drag and drop. Yes. 403. Oh, wait, what's going on here? A 403 error. Stam Sohn said, have you seen people have already jailbroken Sonnet 4.5? I have not seen that. It was giving them recipes for drugs. Okay. Content pillars. So you relax. Okay. Doom said that he's seen people give the AI rewards and it seemed to do decent, like telling it that you'll give it a cookie. That's Lenny. That's funny.
Wins.
Oops, that's Lenny. All right, let's see here. All right, so why did I get this 403? Let's check. What is causing this 403 error in the YouTube transcript generator page? For some reason, I'm getting this 403 error. I've attached the console logs. Also, use the ViewCreator profile to use the AWS CLI to investigate our S3 bucket in CloudFront distribution as needed to diagnose the error. If you do this correctly, I will give you a cookie. You guys like that? If it does it correctly, I'm gonna give it a cookie, so. I'm dead. All right, if you guys are watching and haven't already liked and subscribed, make sure you do so. Let's do it because we're at 3,321. We're at 43 likes. Let's get it going, guys. Oh no. Ariga said, which AI are you using to code? So we're running Codex over here on these 4 agents, but then I'm doing some private stuff on the AWS CLI right now. Yeah, we're using Cursor as well. The Claude new Sonnet model for Claude 4.5. All right, so it said that it fixed the CORS error. Let's test it. Just a little quick refresh here. Clutch. Oh, come on. All right. Why am I still getting this 403 error? Please diagnose it and identify the issue, and then implement the fix using the CLI or updating code. Why is this still working? It should not still be working. Oh, I guess it's building all the logic for actual setup. All right, guys, I'm gonna use the restroom real quick. I'll be right back. If you haven't already liked and subscribed, make sure you do so. We are at 2,000, or we're growing so fast, I don't even know which 1,000 we're at. I guess we're at 3,000 these days. All right, I'm back. All right, saying it should work now. I tested it and it still did not work. Review the logs and figure out what is happening. The S3 buckets are tricky sometimes with the pre-signed URLs. I'm from the United States. Oh, it looked like it was the issue was in the checksum in the API. Yeah, Doom. I think it was in the API though. At least it says it was. Let's see. The problem is I'm not even seeing any logs in the API. Like, why is it that... I mean, no build errors. I just tested it again and it still didn't work. Look at the API. Why is it that there's no logs in the API when I try to upload this? For example, I attempted to upload and I got upload failed with status 403, but I don't even see any logs in the API. Why is that happening? What's causing the 403 error? Really think deeply and investigate until you implement any updates. Okay, looks like our brand profiles is also done here. All right, so let's pull up, let's get this brand. While that's going, we'll figure that out for sure, but let's just go into ViewCreator database, and then let's just launch this in Cursor real quick. Okay, so let's go to source, and let's actually check out the entity that it created. So brand asset, brand hashtag. I don't like that it created 3 different entities. Did it run migrations though? That's the question. Did it create any? No, I did not. Okay, it didn't run any migrations. I don't know if I'm a big fan of that. Clipskirt said, what Next and React are using? I don't know what version. I don't really like the entity that it built. I don't like the fact that you set up 3 entities. You did brand asset, brand hashtag, and brand profile. This just seems to kind of overcomplicate things by creating these child entities. For this functionality, let's just get started more simply. I just want one singular entity called brand profile, and I want this to hold all of the columns for what we're building. Think deeply about this and then implement the changes in both the entities in the database and then the entities in the API. Don't worry about running the database migrations. I will handle this. Ariga, yeah, I use OBS. Octavian, welcome to the stream. How's it going? All right, so for those of you that aren't following along yet with what we're doing, so right now we're setting up the logic of what I'm gonna call a brand profile. So I want users to be able to create multiple brand profiles. So for example, you know, if I'm managing multiple brands, I'll be able to manage those brands under one account. And then when I submit prompts, you know, I'll be able to pass in a specific brand profile that'll give essentially the AI more information. And that's actually gonna be really helpful. Okay, so it's saying try uploading a file again to test this. I do not have a ton of hope, but we'll see. Oh, jeez. Okay, we have to finish. We have to wait for this to finish updating to test that. If you guys are watching and haven't already liked and subscribed, make sure you do so. We're up to 3,325. Let's do a quick investigation. So let's do let's just do the lifetime of the channel. Look at this. So I started in 2024, and I was doing like other stuff back then, but I had like a couple videos up that were like associated with like flowcharts and stuff. And then I started streaming on August 1st. So watch this, 856, boom. That's what consistency gets you guys. Even the past week is insane. Crazy. Consistency is everything. Yeah, Octavian. Revenue's going up, feels good. Octavian said that he's also vibe coding on something, just didn't have enough courage to stream it. Octavian, if you're not in the Discord already, make sure you join the Discord, because one of our admin mods, the Linux thing, just created a channel where essentially we welcome people to share the projects that they're working on, and it's an open channel for people to be able to provide feedback, or if you need testers, or if you need people to just, you know, maybe you're stuck on a problem, you know, that's what the Discord's for, is people that are interested in vibe coding, technology, coding, engineering. DDS said, love me a good hockey stick graph. Yeah, always feels good, you know. All right, so this is going in. We need to get behind these entity errors though, and right now we're working on it with GPT-5 High there. Let's take a look at the UI while this is updating. Define the brief, smart strategy, launch with confidence. Definitely the brand profiles I think is a good idea. I love this. It says endless fresh ideas. Proven templates, smooth workflow. That's cool. Clip Skirt said he's using 4.5 lately. He thinks it's insane. Yeah, I think it's pretty good. The hero banner is a animation. Yeah, it's an animation here. They're all animations. This one's pretty cool. Little flow there. All right, let's actually merge the code to production. I don't think we've done that yet. Let's go to organizations. All right, UI. So basically how my AWS infrastructure works now is that I have CI/CD pipelines so that when I deploy to dev, it goes to the dev branch, and then when I deploy to the main branch, it automatically deploys to the production, which is kind of a best practice. Nothing new or crazy there, but nice to have. Vedant said, can you make a notice doc for generating that hero sections? Yeah, so I actually created it using 21st Dev. So if you join the Discord and ask me in the Discord, I can probably provide it in the Discord if you remind me. But right now I'm locked in on getting this to work here. Okay, that works. So let's actually test the, now that the API is back up and running, let's test the transcript generator real quick before it breaks again. All right, transcript generator, I'll try to upload again. Guys, what the heck? 403, 403, 403. I mean, let's check to make sure that the YouTube thumbnail generator is still working. Let's go here and just upload this here. Update the thumbnail to use a darker, simpler background that is more techy. That is so badass. All right, so that's working. J35 said, would you give a quick look at MGX Dev? It's not something great, but I really like the agents, only if you want to check. What is it? What is it, J35? Sean Davis said, hey, I was wondering what your marketing strategies are for attracting users to install and actually use your app. I'm just thinking of my own app. Yeah, so that's a great question. So the initial step that we're going to take is that once we launch, you guys are going to see it. You know, I'm going to be very transparent about the whole process. As you guys know, we do have paid advertisement and a budget for that. But the first step is going to be creating demo videos, because essentially what I'll be able to do is I'll be able to create a demo video where I just talk for maybe like 1 to 2 minutes that says, hey, this is how you create thumbnails. You know, this is how you use our thumbnail generator. And slowly we're going to build up a library of these demo videos, and then we're going to post them on YouTube and then put money behind those demo videos. So they're going to be well edited. They're going to be so that's like just one random idea. But then also we do have a paid marketing campaign budget. Let's check out let's check this out. So we have brand profile, and we have ID, username, slug. Why is there a slug? Description, mission statement, vision statement, brand voice, core values, primary color, website URL, audience description, call to action, content pillars. Honestly, this is good for now. Let's just build the logic behind it, and then if we need to update anything, we can later. Now think deeply and create the module for this in the API, and then on the front end, integrate the new API endpoints, services, Redux store, and front end page that will properly allow users to create new brand profiles, to view their existing profiles, to edit their existing brand profiles, to delete their existing brand profiles, and other functionality related to brand profiles that will integrate this new entity and functionality. Okay. So let's drop that in. We are going to have to run our migration, so I just run npm. So this is the benefit of using TypeORM. So now, because after we run that, we don't have to generate any SQL, which is nice. We can just run npm run migration generate, so it'll generate a migration, and then we just run npm migration run, and then it's able to update our database respectively. So pretty cool. If you guys are watching and haven't already liked and subscribed, make sure you do so. Right now we're at 3,326, and I bet we can get to 3,330 right now. We've got 61 people watching, so if you're watching, you haven't already liked and subscribed, make sure you do so. Let's run it up, guys. So the thumbnail logic looks pretty good, but what we're dealing with is we're dealing with this weird logic in our transcript generator where, you know, I'm trying to upload an MP4. I mean, can I upload is it some problem with me just uploading like an so that's not, wait, no. I thought it may be the type, but no, it's not that. Because it is a problem with the MP4. So let's try. Okay, let's find So this is an MP4. It's a short MP4 with a 403. Keep getting the 403. Okay, let's launch a new. Let's try. All right, guys, we're gonna try Grok 4 here. So yeah, so here's the 403 that I'm getting. What is the cause of this 403 error, do you think? Try an MP3 as it is an audio model. Well, the problem is it's not necessarily the actual logic where it's uploading it to, like, J35, we're not even getting to the point where it's uploading. Yeah, okay. No, I don't think it's that, because the 403 is related to the S3 bucket upload. So really what should happen is it should upload, right? And then it should be able to upload first, because to be able to do any of these processes, you need it to upload to an S3 bucket where it's you need to have the MP4 convert to MP3 and upload to Whisper. Well, let's try an MP3. Is there any MP3s that we have in here? I mean, let's just try an audio file, maybe. MP4. Can we do quick actions? No. All right, I'm gonna use Grok 4 and see if Elon Musk can throw us a quick Hail Mary here. Yeah, I see what you guys are saying. No, use FFmpeg to FFmpeg. I don't think I am. I don't even know what that is. An image release. Push coalition. How do you know that? Because right now it doesn't matter the whatever logic we have on the API, to me doesn't matter. It's more so the upload isn't working. Like it's not even getting to the you should be using FFmpeg meeting coding. Okay, I'll get to that after, because it should be uploading and it's not uploading is the main issue, right? I mean, we can take a look at it. What is my API's logic for transcribing in the YouTube transcript generator? What is the technology that it is using? How does it transcribe? Okay. All right, I'm gonna use the restroom real quick, guys. If you haven't already liked and subscribed, make sure you do so. We're almost to 3,330. Let's go. Check it out. I'm back. All right, so what does it say? So it says, all right, did you guys see what it's using? So it's using OpenAI Whisper. Your API uses OpenAI Whisper's model, specifically the Whisper 1 model for audio video transcription, how it transcribes file upload and validation. So it takes these supported audio formats. Doom says you shouldn't need to upload it to S3 if the video is going to be encoded to MP3 right away. You have to just be sent to yeah, I'm a coffee drinker. Okay. For SRC subtitles add. All right, hold on, guys. You gotta. Do you see what it's doing right now? It's using Whisper 1. What you're saying is that we don't even have to. Doom says that we shouldn't even need to upload it to S3 if the video is going to be encoded to MP3 right away. Just have it sent to FFmpeg to encode it to MP3, then upload that MP3 to Whisper. But where's the video being stored? Does it even need to be stored? If it sounds like Push Coalition and Doom have done this before, so if you guys are knowledgeable in this, it would be super helpful if you could explain essentially what this is, what we're doing here. Hey, let's go. We made it to 3,330. Let's go. I mean, yeah, I'm not exactly sure here. Corfy said that he's trying to make an AI chatbot using cursor. That's cool. All right, maybe we need to take a different direction totally on this. Push Coalition said, I can give you code if you want. It has to be an audio file. Yeah, I mean, Push Coalition, are you in the Discord? Because if you are, you can DM me. Oh, wow, a ton of people have joined the Discord today. If you guys haven't already joined the Discord, you guys can see that we have a ton of new people today, so the community is growing. I'm gonna get a quick invite link. If you haven't already joined the Discord, make sure that you join the Discord because it's growing. Look at that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. I mean, we are blowing up. This is awesome. So let's keep it going, guys. All right, so current limitations. So Push Coalition said the requirements are Python, FFmpeg, OpenAI Whisper Flow, Workflow MP4 to audio extraction, Whisper Flow, etc. Transcript.txt. Okay. I mean, let's see. Let me just see what Grok said. All right, Grok said that it did find the error. So Grok 4 said that it found the error. Also, when did Grok 4 even come out? July 9th. That's an old model now. Okay, don't forget we have this codex working over here. Okay, so basically we just updated one line of code here. I'll show it to you guys. So here's what we're looking at. So it said set request header x AMZ server side encryption AE256. And it says that this should work. So let's go back over to localhost. Oops. Let's go to dashboard. And let's go to platform tools, YouTube transcript generator. Let's go. Grok 4, save the day. Oh my gosh, finally. It was literally one line of code that needed to be updated. Jeez. All right, so it says processing. All right, here is the summary. Now let's use... All right, let's use 4.5 now. Take a deep and intricate look at the functionality in the API surrounding the YouTube transcript generator. On the front end, this is what came back. It was just a summary, and that's not enough. It actually needs to be the transcript of the video. Why did it do this? Can you make sure that in the front end, in the card of the job, make sure that it actually has the transcript and that the transcript is downloadable for the user onto their computer in a TXT file? Yeah, I think that, you know, the main issue that I was having is I knew that this was working. So Push Coalition and Doom, I knew that it was working, right? The main problem is that it was just that the S3 upload, now that we changed it and we changed our infrastructure so that essentially we're using different S3 infrastructure, because it used to be that we literally just had an S3 bucket that was totally public to anyone, right? But now we had to actually update that so that it has proper security protections and whatnot. So I had to change my infrastructure for that. And then upon changing that, you know, you need to do things like change the headers and the requests to the S3 bucket. So that's what it just fixed and found. So that's nice. Don't forget that we're building that complex brand profile logic over here in this Codex chat, guys. This has been working for 12, 13 minutes now. So also, if you guys haven't already liked and subscribed, make sure you do so. We've got 55 people watching. We're up to 3,334. So if you haven't already, make sure that you join the community by dropping a like and a sub. And if you feel like it, you can join the Discord as well. But yeah, let's get it. All right, so the reason that it's not actually showing the transcript was the UI, because I remember from another day that we actually did have the UI. It does generate the transcript with timestamps, but it just isn't showing it in the UI. So let's add that. Oh, so it hides the full transcript behind the view details button. So let's go to the page here. All right. So view details. Okay. This transcript's so funny. I said, I've got some news to everybody. We've got the house music on because it's time to celebrate. Why are we celebrating? Well, I'll tell you right. The goalpost has officially been accepted to the App Store. Isn't that crazy how many things that we've built in the past 40 days? Like, I like forgot about, you know, that whole side quest. All right, so here's that. So there's the transcript. So badass. Thanks, J35. Oh, wow, and we have timestamps. Here are the timestamps. Okay. This is so sick. All right, so let's deploy these changes. Harshil asks, what is the tech stack for this app? So we have Next.js on the front end. We're using NestJS for the API, and we're using Postgres for the database. J35 said that Grok 4 took Push Coalition's spot. KB said that he just made the deadline for the Revenue Cat Hackathon. Let's go. That's awesome, man. Congratulations. That's freaking sick. All right, so that is working pretty good. Take a look at the max file sizes that can be uploaded to the S3 bucket. I want to make sure that I prevent abuse. So please review, for example, the max file size upload for the transcript generator, as well as some of the other uploads, and just make sure that, I don't want to provide limitations that, limit users and what they're able to upload, but also I can't, I don't want this getting abused. So think deeply and then integrate respectable updates. Esteban said, I'm new to this series, just subscribed. How are you getting the revenue subscription? Great job. Yes, we have multiple products that are now launched and generating revenue. So, as time passes, something that I am open to sharing with everyone is it's like, hey, time passes, we're going to continue to deploy more and more revenue generators. The YouTube channel is now a revenue generator. We can make brand deals. We're making monetization. We also have Goalpost, which is making money on the App Store. We have BridgeMind.ai, and we're about to deploy ViewCreator. And right now, obviously, ViewCreator is the main focus, and it's going to be the main focus for a while. But what's cool is that with ViewCreator will essentially be a hub that we're able to then manage a lot of our other brands and platforms on. So for example, we can market Goalpost using ViewCreator. We can market BridgeMind using ViewCreator. We can market ViewCreator using ViewCreator. It's going to be pretty cool. So if you haven't already liked and subscribed, make sure you do so. But yeah, we got brand deals coming in, guys. We've got a ton of things that are going for us, and I think consistency is everything. It's like you can go back and you can watch day one of this series, and it's just consistency. That's the formula to success, is consistency. So I fully expect that we'll be making tons of money over the next 6 months to a year. It'll be absolutely insane. The trajectory that this channel will have is, something that's very important. Is I'm actually reading this book, and for those of you that read or are interested in reading, there's this book called Imaging by Norman Vincent Peale. And imaging is this concept where he makes a very strong case for this idea that in order to truly achieve your goals, the best way to do that is by truly visioning and imaging what you're going to accomplish. And his point is that if you can see it, if you can really put in your mind's eye a vision, an image of what you want to achieve, then nothing is going to hold you back from achieving your goals and your mission. So just something that I want to share. I've been doing a lot of reading. I do read a lot. As you guys know, I do a lot of streaming. I've been streaming at 5 a.m. And if I'm not streaming at 5 a.m., I do like to read. So Linux thing, good to see you. He said moving fast and hard. Hope everyone is well out there. Linux, it's good to see you, man. Thanks for setting up that new channel as well in the Discord. Really appreciate it. The Linux thing has been here since day one. He was our, I think, our first moderator, and he's essentially the admin moderator of our Discord as well, and he does a great job. So any questions or concerns that you guys have, Linux thing is a great mod. But yeah, Linux thing's been here since day one. It's pretty cool. Hope you're doing good, Linux. Good to see you. All right, so here's brand profiles page. Looks like there's an internal service error. Let's do a quick refresh here. See what that page looks like. Right now, 404. Looks like it hasn't actually implemented the page yet. But yeah, pretty good. Yeah, Linux thing is definitely an OG. All right, guys, we're one subscriber away from 3,340. Who in this live stream has not yet subscribed? Let's get there. All right. Looks like cursor finished updating to prevent the abuse. Okay, so let's actually give this tool a more difficult video. So somewhere on my computer, I have a video that should be about. Hey, let's go. Thanks to whoever just subscribed. Thank you for the support. 3,340. Let's go, guys. All right, so let's go to the transcript generator. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to open up OBS here on my computer. And I'm going to say show recordings. So here are my OBS recordings. And these are much larger. So for example, this one, if we click here, this was a 19-minute video. So what does it look like when we try and upload one of those? Oh, unsupported file format. All right. Hold up. I want to make it so that users can also upload .mov files into the YouTube transcript generator. Please integrate this logic. All right, looks like that brand profiles page is going in too. Don't forget that we're working on that as well. Linux Thing said, been one crazy ride to watch this far. And yep, day one back joined the first day and stuck around. Love watching the progress and helping out when able. Drop a V in the chat if you're vibing. Yeah, if you guys are vibing, drop a V in the chat. All right, so .mov is now here. Let's make sure that it actually works. So let's go back now here to this, and we should be able to do a quick refresh. And then now let's drop this in. So this is a much larger file. Ooh, still looks like it's not able to do that. Andrew, we're getting brand deals now. So, you know, the revenue generator is any revenue that BridgeMind is able to generate. So we're making brand deals and partnerships. So, really exciting stuff. Oh, it just said that I need to restart the API. I don't need you to do that for me. Network error now. Fantastic. Oh, this is what happened. Fix this error. Andrew Morgan said, sheesh, inspiring. Keep it up, man. Hey, you know I will, Andrew. I appreciate your support. Thank you. Yeah, everyone that's in here that's watching and that stays up to date and is supporting, you know, I really just want you to know that I appreciate the support, truly. We're going to get to the mill. We're going to get to the racks. All right, so let's try this again. All right, so much longer video. Let's see how long it actually takes to transcribe. So right now it's 106. You know, it's going to have to transcribe a 19-minute video, so this is a good test. Let's actually do a clock real quick. Let's do a timer. All right, so it's processing. Andrew Morgan said, I am late. What are we using for transcription? So we're using Whisperflow for transcription. Octavian said, what's the Mac config you have? Wanted to upgrade mine soon. Yeah, so I have the M3 Ultra. So it's got 96 gigs of RAM. I don't even know how many CPU and GPU. It's a lot though. But basically, it's like two M3s together. So pretty cool. I really like it. I also have, I've got 2 studio displays. Push Coalition said, personal message me on Discord when you have time. Absolutely. Yeah, I always respond to my personal messages on Discord. So if you want to get in contact with me or have any questions or have any good ideas that you want to send my way, just personal message me and I'll get back to them usually after the stream ends when I'm offline. All right, so a minute in. Push Coalition said you should be using Fast Whisper if you are trying to segment it into seconds. What do you mean? Still processing. But this is normal. I actually use another tool, and it's like how I know there's a need for this is, for example, I use a tool called Noda for this, and I paid $130 the first day that I found it because it was essentially just a working transcript generator, and I paid $130 to get it, which is just crazy. Shrag said, will request not time out? It's been more than a minute. Oh man, transcription failed. So I don't think it times out because it's a job, but what did cause this to fail? Oh, max content size limit. All right, here's the error, guys. Wait, here. All right, just for everybody in chat. So we got a maximum content size limit. So let's actually drop this in ChatGPT. Let's also check the brand profiles screen. Looks like that's still not quite working. Let's drop this into ChatGPT real quick and figure out, hey, what actually causes that? Maybe somebody in chat knows as well, but what caused this error? Push Coalition said Fast Whisper is different from Whisper, but basically the same thing, but Fast is more advanced feature-wise. Okay, let's check it out. Fast Whisper, OpenAI. Is it not? It's not actually from OpenAI, though? Wait, hold up. So pricing. So the image generation, where's Whisper? Audio. Why is Whisper not listed here? Doom said that 19-minute video should have taken max 3 seconds or less. Guys, I can't find out what you're talking about. Fast Whisper? Nade, thanks for the congrats. Yeah, we got some brand deals and partnerships now that we're working with. So, guys, why can I not find what you're talking about? Can you drop a link or something, guys, in the chat? Also, if you guys haven't already liked and subscribed, make sure you do so. We're up to 3,343. So if you're new here, you've been enjoying the stream, make sure that you like and subscribe. Okay, this GitHub. Faster Whisper. All right, so it says faster Whisper transcription with C translate 2. All right, shit, man, I'm sold. All right, hold up. I'm going to deploy all of our changes, though, before I update any more. because I want to be able to revert easily. Okay. Review this in depth. Let's also add the web agent, right? At web. And then let's do this. I want to change and update my current transcription logic to use faster whisper. Think deeply and do not update any code, but create a plan of how we will integrate with faster whisper and update our existing configuration, which is currently working. Please note the existing configuration works, but I now want to change to use faster whisper. Think deeply about how we would integrate this new logic and not break the logic. And if you get this right, I will give you a cookie. All right, guys. We're gonna generate a plan first. If you guys are watching, haven't already liked and subscribed, make sure you do so. NS is in the stream. Everybody, yo, NS is in the stream. NS said, I'm dead. NS said that he needs the Neuralink package. Yeah, J35 asked Noah, he said, when will you be on stream? When's the next NS feature? When's the next NS feature? Who wants another NS feature? Andrew Morgan asked, are you running Whisper through something like Modal? No, I'm just directly integrating with the OpenAI API. All right, here's generating a plan. J35 said bring NS. Henrik Jansen said, what AI tools do you use? So I use Codex and Cursor. So we're using Claude 4.5 Sonnet, and then I also have Cursor. Also, I don't want to ignore, I saw a chat from Edit Z, who's a loyal member of the community and stream. He said, how is everything going? Did you launch? No. So Edit Z, so right now we're getting closer and closer to launch. As you guys know, I've been working very, very hard on our AWS deployment. And last night I was able to successfully deploy our CloudFormation. So we are now up in AWS and we're gearing up for launch. We have beta testers that are ready to go. And as soon as we finalize the configuration, we will be able to launch ViewCreator. For those of you that aren't familiar with ViewCreator, it's a AI content platform where creators and businesses are able to use AI to manage the content for their brand. So they're able to create content like using tools like our YouTube thumbnail generator. They're able to use things like our YouTube name generator, our TikTok caption generator, our YouTube description generator. And right now we're working on our YouTube transcript generator. So right now we're in the process of moving our transcript generator over to using a faster, better service called Whisper, faster Whisper. So that's hilarious. Pre-code camp said nice bump in revenue. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Nice bump. Well deserved. I mean, I've been working hard for it, man. If you guys are watching, haven't already liked and subscribed, make sure you do so. We're only 5 subscribers away from 3,350, so I think we can get there. If people in here haven't subscribed, make sure you do so. Oh my gosh, look at what it did. It literally dropped in the cookie emoji. That's hilarious. It's a comprehensive migration plan compete with the cookie emoji because I said I would give it a cookie. All right, is Push Coalition and Doom in here still though? Because I'm curious as to essentially what you guys think on this. Ooh. So guys, the problem is that I would need to use the Python Fast API though. Look, it says migration complexity. So the problem is that it says that I would need a new Python service for this. NS, I'm dead. Guys, I don't think it's a good idea to change to faster Whisper, because I would need to use Python, a Python service. That's so funny. I'm dead. Wait, what did Andrew Morgan say? He said, if it is through an API, I don't think you'd implement through a GitHub like Faster Whisper. You'd use Whisper through Grow. Yeah. I don't think we can integrate with that, guys. Whisper through Grok should be fast enough. Is Grok faster? But then I would have to integrate with another API. I will say, like, for example, I was using this with Noda, and it did take about 5 minutes to process. The problem that we had was that it hit this here. Size limit overrun. Guys, this agent has been running for 38 minutes. That's insane. Yeah, Mike Rowland said setting up a new service, Python, you have to manage maintenance, more stuff. Let's keep it simple in the beginning. Yeah, I totally agree. I don't think the move, even though it would be faster, I don't think we should do that. We already have a working feature. If we can figure out how to fix this error, though, with the size overrun, I have decided that I do not want to integrate this migration. Please keep the README, but also update the README to note that we do not want to integrate this. Please take a look at the errors that I got during the last run, as well as ChatGPT's analysis of the errors. All right, so let's go. Where were the errors? It was somewhere, obviously, terminal. The file that I uploaded wasn't actually that large, so I feel like, you know, the feature, it makes the feature not that good. We only uploaded like a 19-minute video, and it wasn't able to process all of it. Why is that? Why wasn't it able to process a 19-minute video? That seems like pretty simple. Is there a way that we could integrate an update to compress things so that, you know, when the user uploads, that it could compress it so that we pass Whisper a file that is not as large? Think deeply about this. Don't update any code, but generate a MD file of what potential options are, and then please summarize these options to me so that we can choose which option would be the best. Yeah, Andrew Morgan, yeah. All right. All right, guys, we're 3 subscribers away from 3,350. Let's get there. Oh gosh, I just reached my usage, guys. I'm going pay as you go now. I'm getting scammed by Cursor. We are officially getting scammed, folks. How did I already use my ultra plan? Oh my gosh. Jeez. Alright, well. We may switch to Codex after this. Honestly, the ultra plan on Cursor doesn't give you that much. Alright, Doom said that the Whisper limit is 2 gigabytes, so it needs to be converted to MP3. Yeah, J35, we're going to integrate that YT DLP for YouTube links. Oh, okay. Andrew said that for his app that he converted to audio, then through Whisper. Okay. Guys, we're one away. One subscriber away. Let's go. Claude's Pro plan is bad. Okay. Hey, let's go. 3,351. We did it. That's what I'm talking about, guys. Let's go. Okay, wait. Push Coalition said you can make it into an MVP and integrate it entirely into the application or platform. Ryuk, how's it going? Welcome to the stream. Wait, Push Coalition, what do you mean? Okay, so it says option 1, automatic server-side compression. This is highly recommended. So it says what it does. It automatically compresses files before sending to OpenAI. So a 26.4 megabyte file would compress to 5.7, a 78% reduction. So the Whisper quality would be identical because speech doesn't need a high bit rate. The user experience is completely transparent. Okay. Time to implement 4 to 8 hours. You mean 4 to 8 minutes? Let's integrate option 1. All right, so let's integrate this server-side compression. All right, Push Coalition, you can, yeah, personal message me on Discord. Speaking of Discord, if you guys haven't already joined the Discord, we've got a ton of new users so far today. So if you haven't already joined the Discord, I'm just gonna drop another invite link because our Discord is growing to a pretty sizable community. So, oh, J35's already ahead of me. So, J35 said, for a bright future, you need to be among intellectual minds. Kira, join them now. And he dropped the Discord link. Yeah, guys, join the Discord. And also, like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. It looks like it is integrating that FFmpeg for compression. So, that's good. Yeah, Andrew Morgan said extract audio. Okay. Auto compress large files. Okay. Oh my gosh, I'm getting absolutely taxed by Cursor right now. I've already spent $5. I think my ultra plan ran out, and I've already been got hit with a $5 bill. Manav said, I did this on my site, but it is not very good at implementing compressions. Well, let's see. Let's test it out. NS, I'm dead. NS said 4 to 8 hours. I prefer seconds. I mean, it did do it. Okay, Push Coalition, thank you. Appreciate it. All right. Okay. If you guys are watching, haven't already liked and subscribed, make sure you do so. Working on our ViewCreator project. We're working on our transcript logic right now. So we have a bunch of platform tools. Looks like you have a refresh error here. Let's fix that. But yeah, if I go here, working on our YouTube transcript generator right now. And the issue that we were having is that the transcript failed because the file that we were uploading was too large. So what we're trying to do now is we are trying to make it so that it compresses the file on upload so that essentially it makes it a lot easier. So let's see here. Let's pull up our API and make sure that it actually updated that. All right, so FMN utils. All right, let's try this out, guys. This actually may have caused it to actually like fail too. So hopefully it didn't. Hopefully this still works flawlessly, please. Come on. J35 said, I think that the way to go is to use YTDLP and then get it to an audio file, whisper and transcript, no file uploads. So that is a good point, but then think about this. So J35, I'll just give you an example. When I upload a YouTube video, I have the MP4 file on my computer, right? And the workflow that I use is that I know how important the keywords are. I know how important having chapters is. I know how important some of these intricacies of content creation are. And before I actually create the title, before I create the description, I actually upload it to Noda. I upload the raw MOV file to Noda so that it can then transcribe it. And then using the transcription, I then go over to ChatGPT and I upload the transcription. Oh, it failed. Come on. All right, let's use Codex now. All right, I'm gonna use the restroom real quick, guys. We're uploading this to Codex now because now that I've run out of my Cursor Ultra plan, I don't want to run up a massive bill. So I'm just gonna keep using Codex now. So keep an eye on this, and we'll see. These two are both running. These two. Also, if you guys haven't already liked and subscribed, make sure you do so. We're at 3,353. Let's get it. All right, I'm back. Let's get it. All right, let's see chat. Push Coalition said, build the MVP first for local proof, then upgrade to YTDLP for live prod development, deployment. Luke said, are you committing pushing changes constantly? What happens if AI makes a change that you don't like? Yeah, so I commit my changes quite a bit to make sure that we're up to date and that I don't do anything that, oh shoot, this is ready. You know, that I don't do anything that I can't take back. So so essentially, like, to give you an example, Luke, so I knew that we had our transcript functionality was working for small uploads, it's working. Like this was a 17-second video, right? So the 17-second video worked just fine. But then when we started working with the larger file sizes, that's what caused it to fail. So I knew, hey, we're gonna have to change this up. We're gonna have to figure out how to compress this stuff. But I already submitted, I deployed to GitHub before I started working on this new feature, so that anything that ends up happening that we can actually fix. What is the process? There's an environment variable here. See, I can see, what is that? Okay. All right, guys, we're 2 subscribers away from 3,360. Let's get there. Dougal asks, where are you from, though? I'm from Indianapolis. But I'd like to soon move out of Indianapolis, move to Austin, Texas, but I got to finish my degree. I'm finishing in 3 months, so. Essentially, my plan is in the next 3 months, I'm just going to keep doing this every day while I finish my degree, so that once I finish, then I can just go absolutely insane, basically. Move to Austin, Texas, get in an entrepreneurial scene. Oh, 4% context left. Oh, geez, yeah. Jose, thank you for spotting that. But I think this should be done, right? This has been going for 52 minutes. That's insane. All right, new brand profile. This is what it created, though. So if you guys remember, we started working on the concept of brand profiles. So essentially what users are able to do, and we'll spice this up a little bit, but you'll be able to create a brand profile, and then you'll be able to use those brand profiles to then use them and attach them to specific actions that you do. So for example, you can actually add in hashtags that work for you. And this is just like not great right now. We'll update this, but just very, very raw. But this is the concept of a brand profile. So that when you're working with the AI, that it actually understands your brand. I think that's going to be a pretty big deal. All right, 2%. Oh gosh, we're out of context. We're out of context. All right. Jose, thanks for the call out. All right, we did it, guys. 3,360. Let's go. All right. So FFmpeg. Push Coalition, I'm going to make Push Coalition a mod. Push Coalition has actually been really helpful, and he's also been active on stream, so I just made Push Coalition a standard moderator. Push Coalition, thank you for all your help today. Really appreciate it. Great work, because you were doing some really good call-outs. So I'll make sure that I take a look at the Discord personal message that you also sent me. But J35, can you make Push Coalition a mall cop in the Discord as well? J35 said, even the last time I didn't get that music celebration. I know, it's happening too fast, J35. I don't know what to do. Okay. So it wants us to run... let's just launch a new tab here. Oops. See, ViewCreator. Okay. All right, I think we need some environment variables here. All right, no new environment variables. Okay, cool. All right, cool. All right, so let's try this out. Let's do a test. right, so let's use FFmpeg. So where's that large file? Drop it in here. All right, guys, fingers crossed. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. All right, queued. Dougal, so I did run out of my cursor plan. So essentially, oh, look, it did do the compression. Look at this. It compressed it. So for those of you wondering, I did run out of my cursor plan. My cursor ultra plan ended today, 10 days before my plan resets. So it stinks. It stinks. I already racked up. Let's see. Let me do a quick cost check. So I was at $58 in cost. So it was $13 after my cursor ultra plan ended. They then billed me $13. But the thing is I mean, that's not a ton of money. I mean, if this can work, but the thing that I'm going to do is I'm probably going to transition more so over to using Codex until my plan resets, just so that I don't run up a crazy bill. But also at the same time, you know, businesses have expenses, and this new 4.5 model is pretty good. So maybe what we need to do is we need to get the, you know what we need to do? We need to get the Claude plan, the Claude Pro, and we need to run Codex, Claude CLI, or Claude Code, and we need to run Cursor at the same time. That'd be insane. All right, here we go, guys. It actually worked. Wow. All right, so it did work. Wow, guys, we got it to work. Let's freaking go. All right, guys, we're gonna get just this one's for the OGs out there. We did hit 3,300 subs. So, as you guys know, something I used to do on the channel is we used to do, what's it called? Kerncraft 400. So, J35, this one's for you, man. We used to play this here. So, I'm gonna turn the music up a little bit because we just got this feature working. We had 3,300 subs. It's time to celebrate a little bit, all right? Hold up. I think I'm missing something. All right, volume check. We're about to get lit. All right, let's freaking go. All right, so this looks pretty good. All right, also, if you guys are watching, you haven't already subscribed, now is the time to do so. This is when we run up the subs and the likes, guys. While this song's going, let's freaking run it up. All right, so we got this working. Let's go. When users are downloading the TXT file for the transcript, they should be able to choose whether or not they want the transcript with timestamps or without timestamps. All right, J35 wants the volume up. All right, guys, we're gonna turn the volume up a little bit. All right, guys, let's get to 3,370. Let's go.
Zombie Nation.
Thank you, J35, for the dono. Let's go. Clicks download TXT, it should display a drop down for them to select show timestamps or no timestamps, or include timestamps and don't include timestamps. Oh shoot. In the front end, when the user clicks download TXT, it should display a drop down that says include timestamps or don't include timestamps. Alright guys, I'm going to turn down the music a little bit. That was freaking lit. Shout out to J35. That was sponsored by J35. Alright, let's turn it down a little bit. That was sick. But yeah, we used to do that at every 100 subscribers. So J35 was saying, hey, we got to do it again. But yeah, J35, appreciate it, man. Thanks for the super chats. Let's go. That's what I'm talking about. But yeah, 3,373 guys. Thanks to everybody that subscribed. But yeah, so something I was trying to do there is I wanted to make it so that users can select whether or not they want to include timestamps. So right now when they click download TXT, you know, it does have the timestamps included. So I want to create the ability for them to choose, hey, I want this with timestamps or I don't want it with timestamps. And really what the difference between those two is let's say if I download it with timestamps, it's gonna have, thanks J35 for another super chat. Let's go, thank you. So basically if I click don't include timestamps, it won't have any timestamps, but if I wanna create like chapters, so if you guys know, you know, obviously like on YouTube, chapters, where you'll watch a video and it has like actual specific chapters, if you want that included, you're gonna have to include timestamps. So we're gonna wanna make sure that we give users the ability to, when they click download TXT, that allows them to actually have timestamps or no timestamps. That's very important. Doom said a suggestion would be to add in a user gallery so the user can go there to see their transactions about the thumbnail generator, etc., so that they have saved for 90 days cleaner so they don't have to scroll. Oh, and transcript generation? Wait, a user gallery so the user can go there and see transaction. Wait, Doom, you may have to elaborate a little bit more. What do you mean by a user gallery? Like in the sidebar, or what do you mean? Or you said in transcript generation? No, I'm not having problems with timestamps. Push Coalition. I'm just giving them the option to make it so that they can download the TXT with or without timestamps. Rakib asked, can we get the GitHub repo link? No, this is private. This is totally proprietary software. Yeah, there we go. So don't include timestamps or include timestamps pops up. So if you want to include timestamps, let's see if just make sure that works. So yeah, so if you include timestamps, it's going to download the TXT with the timestamps, which is super useful. You guys can see, so line by line timestamps, which is great. So it literally gives the time and then what was said during that time, which is perfect. And then you can also say don't include timestamps just if you want the, oh shoot, that did not download the a link to the. When I select don't include timestamps, instead of downloading the TXT file with no timestamps, instead it literally redirects me on the page to a new page with the txt file. Please fix this. Make sure that it does the same thing that downloading or selecting the include timestamps button does, which is just to download a txt file on the user's computer. All right, Doom said a gallery in general, so users can see what they created in all the tools, but the gallery will be per user, so they can only see what they created. Yeah, so I'm pretty sure if we go to settings, oh wait, we have a refresh error here. So let's go here. All right. So I'm pretty sure if we go to settings, or maybe it's in credits. Why are we getting this? All right, if we go here and then we go to credits, it's in transactions. So this is what we have right now, job history and transactions. And we have some logic for this, but we're gonna have to improve this and update this. But yeah, Doom, I see what you're saying. I definitely wanna create that. Okay. All right, guys. Well, I'm going to wrap up the stream here. I think this is a good stopping point. We made a lot of progress today. And again, we are taking those beta testers. I have to do a couple things now off stream in terms of our AWS deployment. Like I said, I was able to get the CloudFormation deployed and AWS infrastructure deployed, but now I have to alter some of the secrets and environment variables in both those environments so that those environments are actually functioning. So thanks for all the help today. Shout out to Push Coalition and Doom and J35, our mods. Thanks for your input and your help today. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Have a great rest of your day. And if you haven't already liked and subscribed, make sure you do so.